Hey, welcome
Good
to
evening.
Tuesday Night Live. How you doing today?
Oh, doing pretty good. Got a little rain this afternoon. Left work about 30 minutes early and got home, been killing a little time getting stuff set up for the drawing tonight.
Guess who forgot about the live stream today? You did.
Oh, yeah. I lost track of days. I forgot I was off yesterday and kind of threw all my days off. I thought it was Monday.
Well, and wasn't it you that told me that the stream team's not going to be live this week?
Yeah, Brian had put a message on one of your lives today. Said they all pretty busy, I guess, with the bee season and all going on. They ain't going to do a live this week.
Oh man, that's Wednesday night. That's my thing. Now I got to find some other thing on Wednesday night this week.
Yeah, we'll find something maybe.
Well, today was exciting and melodramatic all at the same time. So, if you watched my live stream earlier, I caught a swarm today. Nice swarm. And matter of fact, I'll throw a nice little picture. You got the picture of it handy?
About to bring it up right now.
We'll let Lee pull this picture up. Hey, Stacy. So caught a nice swarm. And that's when I got it home. And so I'm like, well, you know what? They need more room. Let me go ahead and put another 5 frames over top of it. And I went out back and painted some nuke boxes and came back. And they're gone. They left. And I had the disc to queen excluder. So I don't know if she was just too small and she could fit through there. If I didn't catch her, I don't know. But they're gone.
If you did, it could have been a mated queen that kind of shrunk a little bit, or they may have flew out with a virgin queen and she just hadn't mated and fit right through that excluder.
So yeah, I was kind of upset about that she flew off. I even called Dirt Rooster, but Dirt Rooster must be on a cutout because he didn't answer. So I went to his voicemail. Yeah, they took off, man. I was not happy about that. And so what I did is I emptied the frames out of the bottom box. I put the old comb in the top box, and I still got Swarm Commander that I sprayed in it. So maybe, who knows? Maybe they'll fly back.
Get lucky.
2 watching? No, we got 14 watching right now. I've got 12 on mine. You got 2 on Lee's if you're watching on Lee's. Lee, is your mic off? Sounds funny, it says.
Can you hear me pretty good?
I can hear you fine.
Yeah.
So
maybe that long distance all the way to Northern Ireland.
A little bit of lag. Hey, James, Fermana, William, Silver Gorilla, Randy.
Eugene's in here. Daisy.
Yeah, Randy, there's probably maybe 100 bees in that colony when I went back out of that big catch. So I was a little bit frustrated with that. Maybe they will fly back. I don't know. Honestly, by the time I saw it, I didn't see them fly. I should have grabbed a frame of brood. You're right, and put it in there. They just had some old cone. But it was crazy. Just one of them days. And then while I'm sitting here contemplating at my desk about the swarm taking off, then I got a call for a cutout for tomorrow. Now, here's the issue I have with this cutout. It's she says you can hear the bees through the sheetrock in the wall, and there's some bees getting inside, like they 5 or 10 bees in the building. So they've been canceling appointments to keep people from coming in to the business. But it's an old building, so she's saying the wall's like a foot thick, right between the inside of the brick and where it's studded out and the sheetrock is.
So depending on how long they've been there now, they could have a lot of comb built up in that.
Yeah, she said she hasn't seen them before. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Tritone. Um, and so I'm gonna go out there tomorrow and try to. It's 45 miles each way, so I don't know how much to charge them. I haven't really thought about it. She asked me how much will it cost. I said, be honest with you, until I look at it, I don't know. Don't know what it's going to be. So I know if I got to drive 45 miles each way, the gas alone is expensive.
Yeah, it's getting bad. I walked through the kitchen a minute ago and heard the TV. They was on news talking about Los Angeles gas prices over $8 a gallon.
Well, I don't know. Gas was $4.30 today here. Hey, Bobby. But that was. I have not been able to keep a swarm this year. Now I've been on 3 swarm calls. All 3 swarms. Well, one was a force abscond.
Yeah, we got William down there.
Yeah, William in.
Hey, Fermana, can you hear me a little bit better now?
What's up, William?
Hey, how's it going?
It would have been better had those bees stayed in the box.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. I just spun it from vent to the little line, queen excluder line, and they left.
Shouldn't squeeze your way out, huh?
I guess so. Or either that or when I opened it to put the box on, they all clustered on the front like that. A lot of them did. She could have been in that cluster. She might have just came out when the cluster and flew off. So,
yeah, I didn't catch the last bit of your live stream because I had to get back to work, but I seen the first part of it.
And then I got a cutout tomorrow.
James said he took a sting in the elbow today. He ain't had a bicep that big in years.
I got stuff. I listened to old Brad. He's like, just scoop you up a handful of bees and put them in the box. So I did it a few times. Everything was great. And then I got stung 3 times right there along my fingertip, right on my fingertip. So I was like, I guess not. I mean, I didn't realize how many bees there were when I caught them because it didn't look like that many. But when I got them home and opened them up to put that other box on top, it looked like a ton of bees. And so they flew off. I looked up, I walked the woods trying to find a cluster, didn't see them. And, but I did move the old comb to the top, emptied out the bottom like a swarm trap, and opened it up. So maybe some bees will come back. I don't know. We'll see. Just a waste of time.
When you moved them back to your yard, did you introduce any brood to the box or?
No, as soon as I got home, I put that other box on top of it to give them room, and I didn't put any brood in the box. I should have.
Yeah, I throw brood in there, and they don't usually leave the brood.
Now, all the other swarms I've caught, I've just shook them in the box, closed them up, and good deal. Good to go. But this year it hadn't been. I mean, that forced abscond, somebody had sprayed in the house when he bought it, and they were dying. And then what else? I did another. Oh, the other swarm they called me for. I went out there and they were gone by the time I got there. And then this swarm, I caught them, and then they left. So
you're gonna go do a cutout tomorrow. Do you have a bee vacuum then, or?
No, a friend of mine does. So we're gonna go together. And she says she can, when they're in the bathroom, she can hear them in the wall in the bathroom. So it's gonna, that's things. What, $400 or $500 though, right?
Depending which one you get, the base model, just the vacuum and all itself is like $370. It's worth every penny though to me. You ain't got to worry about
now. Why can't you
running extension cords?
Why can't you just get a regular vacuum, a regular shop vac, and take the little filter off of the thing and suck them into the tank?
You'd want the filter on there, or they'll get up inside the motor.
Not for long, they would. Not for
Pieces of
long.
them anyway.
Pieces of them would.
Yeah, it'd be a little too strong. You need something to regulate the flow. So you could take a regular shop vac and cut you a hole in a box, run you hose into there, and then another hose out the other end. But you want a little valve that you can open and close to lower the vacuum pressure.
Well, my buddy's got one, so he wants to go out there with me. We'll just do it together and split the money or whatever.
The second video I ever posted on YouTube is about my V vacuum that I built, which is kind of like the principle that Lee just described. I got I built a lid and it's got a baffle on it to control the suction.
But so I'm going to look at that because I've got a shop vac. I just don't have a box set up. Get a bucket head and a 5-gallon bucket.
I just like sucking them into a 10-frame box. That way I can band up their comb if it's a cutout, and then I can just take that box of their comb and just set it right on top of the vacuum, crack my screen, and
let them go.
I gotta do when I get back to the house, because cutouts suck, man. They're a lot of work. But when I get back to the house, I don't want to be dumping bees out or doing anything. I just want to sit them down, crack that screen, and walk away. Worry about them the next day, you know.
Right.
And so, I've got that video, and then I did an update video on how my screen system works now. You can look for that too.
You just never know when you leave to go to a cutout how big the colony actually is, right? I mean, and it's 45 miles away. So making sure I've got enough equipment. I'm going to do one like that. Made mine with the brood box. Yeah, that's what yours is, kind of like a brood box, right? But it's got a screen board on it.
Yeah, so I built a special base that the hose goes into at the bottom, and it's got a sloped floor. That way, when you suck the bees in, they're not hitting. They're just kind of going up against that sloped floor, and then they can kind of walk up the back and climb onto some frames. And I've got those metal 9-frame spacers that you'll hammer on the inside of your supers.
Right.
The frames out at 9. That way, they're not bouncing around in the car when I drive home. Those frames are kind of held apart, so I don't squish as many bees. And then I've got a screen that sits on the top that it's like a frame, a wooden frame. And you can pull the screen out to let the bees escape. But that also helps them not overheat when you have them in transport. So
hold on, bigger name on the other line.
I bet y'all know who that is. Yep.
The Dirt Rooster.
Randy.
Tell him jump on the live.
Hey, man, I'm on the live stream. Hey, so I caught a swarm today, and I didn't see the live chat, but they said
William, that
on there.
vacuum that you made, that's kind of on the base of Mr. Ed's vac, wasn't it?
Yeah, so basically before I got bees,
I got home.
I watched a lot of Mr. Ed's videos, and
I got home.
I got the opportunity to do a cutout. I went home and just kind of built one roughly in my mind based on what I'd seen him use. So it's similar, except I don't have the head, like the vacuum head built into the lid.
Yeah.
I just run a hose to it. It just made more sense to me than trying to fit that vacuum.
Yeah, you do a lot of fine detailed cutting, try to get it mounted in there.
It didn't make sense. Then if my vacuum ever breaks or something, you know what I mean, or I want to actually use it as a vacuum or whatever, I can do that, you know. And plus, it seemed easier to, just not have it, just not do that. It seemed like an unnecessary step, but I mean, you can do it however which way you want to.
How many cutouts have you done this year?
This year, I haven't done any cutout. I haven't done any cuts. I'm doing that trap out, and I've got a series on that. But I haven't done any cutouts. I did a bunch last year, and then I did some the year before. But I would do maybe a couple this year if they were right. But I'm not going to do any that look time consuming or difficult. Because now that I've got a yard full of bees, it's like, man, every weekend I've got something I can be doing. You know what I mean?
It's this time of year, it's real busy if you got any more than a handful of hives.
Yeah.
It's hard to do cutouts or anything else. Last year I only had 2, but I caught a couple of swarms. This year I've caught 2 swarms, but none of them in my own boxes. It was just open air swarm.
Yeah, I'm hoping one will come up, that's in a building that's going to get torn down or a tree or something like that I can cut them out of, low risk, something like that's what I'm looking for. And I told my wife I'd only do a couple this year, if the right ones came up.
Yeah.
She's
I
getting
mean,
hard
a little
now.
small cutout I don't mind doing. I just don't like having to do a whole lot of cutting on somebody's house. And then even though I don't really do all the repairs, I do want to at least try to put the wood or the sheetrock back in place. That way their maintenance guy or whatever can come finish it.
Mhm.
But that's still a lot of work, just trying to cut it out, make sure you got it neat where the maintenance guy can work on something. You don't want to just, butcher.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like Silver Grill is in the same kind of boat.
Yeah, it's not enough hours in the day.
Yeah, and in our area, there's a lot of people that want to do the cutouts and stuff. So it's not like a great money making deal around here. You know what I mean?
You know, you made it to the top of the B world.
Yeah, but Bob kind of just ditched us, didn't he?
And we ain't as important, I guess.
I know. We was having a conversation about cutouts, and then somebody else wants to come along and does cutouts, and we've got to go talk to him. I thought,
You got to go talk to the master of cutouts, I guess.
I guess, yeah. We wasn't interesting enough for him.
It seemed like my audio is synced with my video pretty decent.
I think so, yeah.
I got a comment that it's not looking synced, and that I had one saying it sounded like I was talking in a box.
I think it sounds a little bit at first. When they first said that, I thought maybe your mic quality wasn't as good as it usually is, but now I can't tell. Plus, it's playing through my laptop, so it's not like I've got Bose headsets in or something like that. You know what I mean?
I made a little adjustment here, but it shouldn't be really anything different than what it normally is.
I think it sounds fine to me now. Let's ask the chat and see what they think. But
it may have just been a bad connection for a minute.
Yeah, look at Bob's face. Look how happy he is. He wouldn't like that when I was talking. Look at him. He's all smiling.
Sarah said it looks like the audio is synced.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Everything else is straight. Okay. Anyway, we got the link to the video for the live stream pinned at the top of our comments if y'all want to join in.
Is this the last week for the giveaway, Lee? Is this the last set?
One more after tonight.
Oh,
yeah,
one more.
We got tonight and then next Tuesday.
Bob, you looked really happy during that conversation. Where your face
Randy, Randy, man, he'll have you rolling. We were talking. I said, "Well, I'm probably going to go get this flare from Harbor Freight for $199.99." I said, "I got a cutout tomorrow, and I don't know how much to charge." He says, "I don't know, but the inspection fee is $199.99 to pay for the flare." He said, "Gas is high." So he had me rolling. I said, "They're on a cutout right now, him and Pete." He said he might stop by on the way home if we're still on.
He stopping at Sonic or Wendy's?
He didn't say. He didn't say. So
that's the one I was telling you earlier, Bob.
Yeah, they said they have it in stock here, so I don't know what time Tractor Supply or Harbor Freight opens up.
You'll have to give us an update on how that thing works.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. To see. First of all, when I quote them, they may say, "Nah," that's always a possibility. But the thing is that it's against the law to kill them in South Carolina. So, and if they're in there, did a cutout Saturday, a comb cutout, no brood, no stores, 30 bees and a queen, but got paid $150 or so.
30 bees?
30 bees and a queen. Oh, and we were talking about that swarm. He says, yeah, you got to leave them locked up for at least 48 hours. At least 48 hours or 80% chance they're going to fly off. But in my mind, they were locked up because I just had the queen excluder, right?
Right.
And on there, and he said, "Yeah, but they'll leave her behind with like 100 bees and take off." Probably what happened to the other one. No, I'm 0 for 3 on swarms this year. One of them was my own. I don't even count that. So, but yeah, so that's we'll see. I told them I don't do sheetrock work, so they're gonna have to repair the sheetrock. I'll tear it out and get the bees out, but
The two swarms that I got this year both stuck around. I didn't lock them up or nothing, but now I gave them a frame of brood though. As soon as I got back, I gave them a frame of brood.
Yeah, that one took off quick, and I didn't even see it taking off. So that's the weird thing about it. But
a lot of bees there. You didn't think you'd seen that.
But I didn't stand there and watch the box either. I put the other box on top and came back, and I'm like, where's the bees? They're gone. So, and Wizen Hunt said he got his tool today.
Yeah, Josh was talking about doing a comb cutout instead of an actual cutout. I had one of those last year. The old houses, they were built on, the studs were on 24-inch centers, so it's 2 foot between every stud. This house here, this hive was a little bit over 12 foot long that I ended up cutting out.
Well, see, that's what Randy said when I told him that they just noticed the bees. He said, "Yep, that means nothing." He said the one that they told me about that we're on today, they said they just noticed the bees too, and they've been there for like 3 years.
How's these? They said they'd been there for multiple years. The day that I went up there to get it, and it's an hour and a half, 2 hour drive easily up there, one way. On my way up there, the guy called and said he'd seen a whole bunch of bees flying out. They absconded before I got there. Right. So I figured hopefully they'd still have a little honey in there. Nah, it wasn't nothing but old comb.
All right, so I'm this giveaway tonight, while we're talking about prizes in the chat, just to let you know, the lady that normally sends out the shipping for the prize pack is on vacation. But I went ahead and prepped them today, and they already pulled the prize pack, everything that's in it, to get it ready to go out. So when we do the drawing tonight, then we'll know. For sure.
From what I've noticed too on some of the cutouts of when the homeowners say, "Oh, they've been here about a couple weeks," or "They've been here," sometimes that's how long it's been since they last swarmed, not since how long they've been in the structure. Sometimes they don't even notice them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he said if they started coming inside, that they've probably been there longer, and the people just never noticed them till they started coming into the building, and then they went to look, and they're like, "Oh, there's bees up there,"
Gotcha.
So he said if you can hear them through the sheetrock, they're much bigger than what they think they are.
They didn't just move in. Huh?
Yeah, they didn't just move in.
That trap out that I'm doing, I mean, you've seen all the bees on that. They said, "Oh, they've been here about 2 weeks." I don't know. Right. That'd be a pretty big swarm if they just moved in.
Right.
It was a lot of bees.
Well, I mean, the main thing is, even if they just moved in, like that swarm I caught today, I didn't think it was that many bees when I first went out there, but when I got home and opened the box, I mean, there was a lot of bees in there.
That was a decent sized swarm for this time of year too.
Yeah, for Mom messing with you about that.
Bob, you offered a 1-bedroom apartment to a 6-bedroom family. Yeah, and it's true. Hey, you know what though? That's all I had in my truck when I was at Blythewood, which is 30 miles away from me, and they got the call there. And I'm like, well, that's kind of on my way home. I'll go by and get there. So I bought a migratory cover to go on the nuke box that I had, and they had a piece of old comb outside, which is what I grabbed on that frame, and that's all I had. I mean, and what was in my truck that happened to be there. I happened to have a veil. I happened to have my honeybee gone and some of that stuff in the truck. So
I wonder if we can get Houston to do that in a video for us.
I bet you no way that'll happen. So it's kind of crazy. I'm not a big swarm catch guy, but if like that today it was on a low branch, I'm like, yeah, I'll swing by and get free bees. Of course, it ended up costing me 2 hours and some gas, and ended up not getting the bees.
And a couple of stinks.
Thanks, Bradley. But hey, I did. I mean, it is cool to scoop them up, and when when you do it in your bare hand, you feel them all vibrating in your hands when you're doing it. It's pretty cool.
And if you were a female on TikTok, you got a lot of views for that.
Yep. If I would have been wearing a thong and a bikini top and out there catching swarms,
I don't even want to picture that.
It had been viral.
Yeah, I think people are leaving the chat just hearing about that.
Yeah, we just lost everybody.
You just lost half the audience.
Lost half the audience, demonetized.
People are in there trying to wash their mind out with soap and stuff.
it won't work.
They're calling their therapist up right now. An emergency session.
Come on, Houston. You got to do it.
Even, the other day on that video, I'm like, oh, I got my titty. I got stuck up my titty.
Like demonetized.
Demonetized just that quick.
The channel gets strike.
We got Rick Morse on here, but I don't see any picture at all. Not from his phone, not from his computer, so I don't know if he's actually there or not. Rick.
Yeah.
Hey, we can hear you.
Man, your camera.
I
don't know
I
what's going on with it.
The light behind you. Too high up.
Does he got like a cover on his computer or like a?
If I say some of the laptops still have like a little sliding doors that go over the camera.
I split it, but now it still doesn't do nothing.
Get a piece of tape over it or post-it note or something.
I don't know. I'll get on with my phone.
Well, I found out that the prize pack is valued at $116. That's how much it would cost to buy that stuff.
Hey, even if it was only $20, that's $20 you didn't have to spend to get something.
But then you got shipping on top of that, though, right?
Well, yeah. Plus, they're paying.
Did
for
they
shipping.
calculate the shipping though in that 116?
No.
So I thought
they
it was
didn't.
more than that by the time you had everything right.
Yeah, by the time you pay for shipping, I'm sure. But you know what? I save more money by being consistent with them. Like I bought those nukes, but I had $50 in credits when I went there. So it was $50 off of that. Then I went back and had to buy that migratory cover to go over my nuke box because I didn't have one in the truck. And because I bought the nuke boxes, that migratory cover cost me $3 and some change with tax. So
yeah, you'll have to go back and look at that chat. I thought maybe Brad said it too, but I also said use your hand to shovel them up. But you didn't say anything else, so I thought maybe he said it around the same time.
Well, the sun was on there, so I might have got it wrong. There he is. What's up, Rick?
Hey, not much, man. I seen that today where you caught that swarm.
Well, I didn't film the live when I went back to the box, and the box was empty when I got it home.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I put a box on top of it, and it took off. So, Lee, you sound like you're 50 feet away from your mic.
I don't know what's wrong. I turned it down a little bit the other night, and it was good. But
Tap your boom mic and make sure that's the one you're using. No, it's not. We don't hear a tap on it.
That might be it. It may have reverted back to, yep, it's on my webcam.
Now I don't hear you at all.
Now, can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
That's way different.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, now it's like a DJ sexy voice.
Yeah, now I'm not hearing the hissing in my earphones. I was having to turn my earphone up so I could hear it was coming all the way from the other microphone.
Fermana.
Hey guys.
What's up? I see the hate emails you're sending me. No shirt yet. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I didn't make you move to Ireland, bro. Just saying.
Is he froze or is he just holding really still?
Is he froze or just hating on me? He's thinking of how to cuss me. He's cussing me out in his mind. I can hear it.
I think it froze just a little bit, but it look good now. Hey, we got Mike down here.
Sorry about that.
I think Mike's one of those Minnesota beekeepers.
It's just a rumor.
Hey, Michael.
Yes, ma'am.
You need to email me. I might have a business proposition for you coming up.
Okay.
If you're interested in commercial beekeeping.
I was about to say, does it involve wearing a dress?
No.
Can I just
don't own one of those.
Freddie, you're sounding a lot better now.
Yeah, I was on the wrong microphone.
See,
I got a guy that's moving back to Minnesota and has like 8,000 acres.
Damn.
Where?
8,000.
8,000 acres
In Minnesota.
in Minnesota, and he wants me to set up bees up there for his crops. And obviously I'm not in Minnesota, so I could use probably a hand up there.
Yeah,
If I
it sounds
set it
like it. Do you have any idea what part of the state it is?
No, I don't. Not at the moment.
Okay, well, my email address, Rob, is pretty easy. It's
Let's see.
What do they grow up there, Mike? What kind of crops are you thinking he's probably growing?
well,
Is it-
see, really, it depends on where they are. If they're down in southwest Minnesota, that's down in the prairie. It's mostly corn and almost entirely corn, which I don't quite get. And then in the southeast, it's a lot more variety there, and there's also a lot of produce farmers down there.
I'm trying a bit low and see if it.
Is it Mike at coonlakehoney.com? Or
No,
is
it's just coonlakehoney@gmail.com.
You still here?
Oh yeah, I changed the description on my video.
let's see.
You did what?
I think so. I just put it under Rick Morris instead of that I thing, space or whatever.
I'm just sending you a generic email so you have my contact as well.
You got it. And actually, I've been meaning to exchange contact info with you guys, but I just been out there. So I apologize. I don't know Phil and Rick. Where are you guys at?
I'm in Indiana,
Are you really?
Yep.
What part?
over by Terre Haute,
Terre
so
Haute.
it's like east side.
Okay. That's the northeast side more, isn't it?
No, it's more of in the middle.
Middle? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't been there in a long time. The last time I was down there, we were in Gary and just passing through. And Phil, where are you from?
Mike, I'm from Northern Ireland.
Oh, shit. And here I am without a beer.
Shame on you.
Yeah, well, I do have some whiskey mash going on over here, so.
As long as it's Bush Mills, you're okay.
Yeah, well, guess what? We might even smoke it on some peat moss, or peat bog. So who knows? Indiana too, Sarah. I forgot about that. That's great. So
This is what I put in my hive to get those bees.
honey bee attractant. What's the ingredients on that there, Rick?
I looked and it doesn't say exactly. This says it's a lure to attract the honeybee, and it says to use it in your garden just to attract honeybees to pollinate your stuff.
Don't try to taste it.
No, I'm not going to. But I put it inside the hive and ended up catching a swarm. So I set
Nice.
another one out there to try to catch another swarm.
How much do you remember how much that stuff is? And how much you get?
You get 3, I think it's 3 vials. Here, I'll open it up. Hang on.
Hey, DC, I did something that you requested.
Oh, look at that.
I got some new nukes today.
Are those new, or did you just finish painting them?
Both. I got them today and painted them today, and they're ready to go as soon as they dry out and get that scent off of them.
No, that's the Krylon again.
Yeah, I used the Krylon 2X on this.
Huh.
It's
Well,
the
they sure are pretty.
paint primer. All the other nuke boxes that I sprayed with that have really done well. They held up as well as any other box I got out there. So
Okay, well, it'll be interesting to see how they go in a year. But they look really impressive. I just,
well, it was weird because I had that. I went to go get. Okay, I went to the B store to get foundation for the 50,
here we go.
the 50 frames that I
Hey, sweetie.
the 50 frames that I found in my shed. Right, so I put the 50 frames together yesterday, and I went to get foundation for them. And then I was over there. I'm like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and get some nuke boxes. And I got the nuke boxes, and then they got called for the swarm. And they're like, hey, you want to go get a swarm? I'm like, yeah, it's on my way home. I can swing by there. And then I caught the swarm. Then I got so it's been one of those days. And then the swarm flew off after I got home. And then I was sitting here contemplating that and got a call for a cutout tomorrow. So it's just been a busy, constant cycle, you know. So going to do that tomorrow and just trying to. Yeah, I know. That is exactly right. Bob's, I went to the B store is equivalent to hold my beer. Yeah.
This time he filmed his wild adventure, and we can actually believe it happened.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, well, that's out of the fun too.
I
So
do have to run out to the truck and get something though.
I got a general question for you guys. So when you guys catch swarms, do you immediately throw a feeder on them?
Depends.
I threw frames on mine and they flew off, so I haven't had good luck this year. Hold on.
What I do, Mike, is I try to grab a frame of brood, and if I want to get some honey around the outside edge of it too, and I throw that in there. And
Interesting.
They don't leave.
Brood to kind of lock them in. You'll make them want to stay there.
Okay.
You get them on some comb. It's got food, pollen, some brood. I mean, I've never had them leave. Now I haven't caught that many swarms. I don't guess. I mean, but I've never had them leave.
Yeah. Hi, pay me rent, or has anybody got an idea what to charge?
I want to watch the show, but I'm going to get off of here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, nice meeting you, Rick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good night, Rick. Thank you.
Yep.
Phil, what do they want? Are they wanting to just you to keep it on their property for a period of time to pollinate a specific crop, or keep it there all the time, or what are?
We had a local TV station that just did a story on people in the Twin Cities that do that, and you got to figure out what your time is, and you got to set some ground rules too. Like if you stop in there, because they'll want, if they have a chance, they'll want to sit there and talk to you about the whole doggone time too.
Mm-hmm. That, I mean, you got to figure, it depends how far you're going to drive, if they're just wanting one hive there or multiple hives, because you're going to have to visit that hive every week or two to do inspections, check up, see what it needs, what it don't need. So, I mean, it has different trips, and is it worth it for one hive?
And how long are they going to be out there?
Yeah. I had a guy talk to me last week at the farmer's market. He's another vendor at the market. Well, he lives about 40, 45 minutes from me, and he's wanting 2 hives on his property to pollinate fruit trees. I told him for me to drive 45 minutes, I'd have to put at least 10 hives. But I got a buddy that lives in the same town as him, just a few miles down the road. So we hashed everything out, and my buddy's going to get in contact with him and bring a couple of hives over there.
Okay.
I have trouble imagining getting enough money to haul one hive to a location and then haul it back off. I mean, just in fuel and your time, it's difficult to imagine that it would be worth the person wanting the hive on their garden or whatever it is they're wanting.
And the only outcome you would have too, I mean, yeah, you'd still get the honey off of it, but how much honey, it depends what they pollinate and different things. So I mean, is it worth your time?
Look what they gave me today. The 10 frame variety.
Oh, this is that feeder box, the Tupperware thing?
Yeah, this is the 10 framer.
Interesting.
Are you selling these, Bob, or is this just a one-off thing, or what? I've never seen these before.
Me neither. They had them in their warehouse, and they were they don't even know how much to charge for them. So they gave me a 5 framer last time I was there, and I went in today. They're like, oh, if you want a 10 framer, here, take a 10 framer. And they still don't know how much they're worth. Now, with the 5 framer, this divider that's in here has a little like a cutout on it. So once the syrup was gone, the bees were able to travel under, but the 10 frame one doesn't have that.
Is that removable, that divider for dry feed, or? Oh yeah, sure enough.
So it will come out.
Okay, so that's a bottom entrance, that V, inverted V?
It looks like you climb in the bottom. There's a little ladder there, a V-shaped ladder.
Okay, thank you. You know who could really use just a shitload of that is Ian Stepler up in Canada, because that would fit That might fit under his pallets. He had all those starve outs. That's.
So-
Do you have any idea who makes that?
Some China company, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
They don't even know. I mean, it was in their warehouse, and they just pulled them over, and
on the bottling tank.
they've got a few 5-framers, and I think 1 or 2 of these left over there. I said, hey, if y'all don't know, when y'all sell something, you should just put one in the box as like, here, extra, gift to get them out of there. But
Have you by any chance done something like a Google Lens search on it?
a Google what?
Lens search. You take a picture and run it through Google, and it'll look for similar pictures. I really want to know who the hell makes that thing.
It looks like it would. I mean, I like it because you can put it up with your feeder shim or an extra box,
Oh hell yeah!
and it's
Google
pretty.
image witchcraft you're talking about, Mike. You can send a picture up to Google and it'll find what you took a
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah, if you take a picture with your phone most of the time now, at the bottom it'll have like a little 4 corners and then a dot in the center, and that's a Google image thing. You can click on it and it kind of traces the image out and figures out what it is.
That's at least on my Android phone and whatnot. But
Yeah, that's how mine is.
William, I use it a lot. If there's a flower in my garden or some insect I've never seen before, I snap a picture of it. I've done that with cars that some really weird car I'd never seen before. So it's a handy tool.
So you just take a photo of it with your camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch. I'm going to show you this at the bottom of my phone, Bob. Oh,
Yeah.
wrong one. I'm talking to Bob and I click on Bob.
We know who Bob is, Lee. We know
After you take a picture, at the bottom, they should have a little button that says lens. I don't know
Right.
if it'll focus, but anyway, it'll say lens on Android phones.
So this is an Android thing. This is not a.
Well, it's through Google though.
It's that part of it is kind of like our photo manager on the Android phone, and it's got Google imprinted into it. When you do run the thing, you end up with just a poop load of different pictures. And you try to find the picture that's closest to the one that you've got, and then you click on that. It tells you what it is.
I wonder if
JCB's had one of those bees. Really? Jason of JCB's had one of those feeders on Sunday. Huh.
one of these.
That's
what
what
Phil's
Phil's
saying.
I had never seen it before. Let me see if I can do a Google search.
Huh.
Google.
So, Phil, what time is it there in Ireland?
It is 1:38 a.m.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you're up there. So, forgive me, I have no idea. My last name, by the way, in Gaelic means traveler. Little irony there because I'm almost 100% Norwegian. God bless. That's all. What do you have for rain there? Is it just continuous this time of year, or?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah.
Summer, I believe, is on a Tuesday this year.
My parents were on a double-decker just east of Dublin, or so, I forget exactly where they were, and they brought the bus to a stop, and all the water that was on the upper deck came washing down and went down the stairways.
This is what the weather's like here. How many of you have a fire lit the 1st of June?
I'm going to be running one tonight. That's pretty rare, though.
All year round.
Hey, Mike, Hillbilly got a question for you there on the screen.
I want to know right now, Mike, what or how much is a poop load? Technically, it depends on what kind of poop it is. If it's goat poop, it's worth a little bit more. Yeah. Don't hit me with a technical question like that.
It's about this much.
I don't give a shit.
Hey, Phil, how did your queen situation ever turn out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did the assessment at the weekend. I have one hive rocking it. At least 5-6 frames, wall-to-wall brood, eggs, everything. Pretty good. the original hive, unfortunately, is not looking so good. I believe it has swarmed several times.
Mm. You still
But
hadn't found a queen in that one?
not in the original one, but it did have queen cells a couple of weeks ago. So I'm still hopeful that queen will come back, but if not, I can take a frame out of the good one and hopefully still have two.
Yeah. Well, as long as you got the queen in one, if for some
Yeah.
reason you don't get one back, you can move a frame of eggs over and at least have a fighting chance.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
Blaine,
have
don't worry. I almost forgot tonight was Tuesday, too. I forgot about the live.
Yeah. I say, Phil, do you have any idea why the hives swarmed? Were they nectar bound, pollen bound, or just over in size?
To be honest, Mike, this is my first year.
Okay.
I bought a nuke late somewhere last year.
Okay.
And I honestly believe they were far more advanced than I expected them to be this year.
Okay.
Whenever I did my first inspection, they were literally boiling out of the hive.
Oh. Okay.
And it was only an 8 frame deep.
Okay.
They
Well, a little bit of
they had queen cells everywhere, and I
oh,
just got to them too late, to be honest. And I think
okay.
it's just been I think they've just swarmed and cast swarms several times.
The reason I was asking is at this time of year here, not being a correlation, but my hives can very easily become pollen bound. The pollen's so packed in, the queen can't have any place to lay in it and just explode. And if you got an 8 frame, this is even handier. Try to get in the habit of like especially this time of year before you got the nectar flowing, you got all the honey supers on. Tilt the doggone box back and look at the bottom and read the bottom of the frames like a page of book and look for those queen cells. It's a quick and easy thing to do. So
I just did my first inspection too late. That was
oh, that's fine.
Because I was looking at the books, looking at the videos. They all were saying, wait until the weather gets better. Wait until the weather gets better. And when I did do it, it was just too late.
Yeah, that's never happened to any of us, has it, guys?
All the time.
I'm a little bit nervous about getting back and checking my bees because it'll be like 12 days.
Don't worry. I think all of my hives swarmed this year when I was
They're
working.
gone, William. They're gone.
Well, I'm hoping we've had a lot of rain back in Oklahoma, so maybe not, but there's probably a few of them because we got nectar coming in now, and I don't have drawn comb, so odds are.
You're too busy watching Bob's lives.
Well,
I'm about to say I'm in Georgia right now, but I live in Oklahoma, so
I will continue to look for this feeder, but I haven't seen it right off on Google Images.
They don't have any name or markings anywhere on it.
No, this one's got a hexagon with honeycomb and a bee on it, right there, and I don't see any name on it. If anybody recognizes that logo,
just said that Jason Christman had it on his video on Sunday.
well, I can look back at.
I kind of pulled the video up just to look through the video description to see if he had anything under there, a link, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah. So the one that came out on Sunday is the title is A Close Look at an Apame 7 Frame, and I'm gonna buzz through that real quick here just to see if I see any reference to it. But
be kind of a weird video to have that feeder in since Apame has its own proprietary feeder.
Well, that's where I was going with that. Thanks, William. So I'm just
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. That's a really good point. In fact, I'm cruising through right now, and he's showing the whole doggone thing, and I am willing to bet that is not the video that came out on Sunday. No, definitely not. I just ran through it, so there might be my first Apame hive inspect. No, who knows where it is? Sericell product unboxing. No. Well, if anybody else happens to find that thing down, that'd be great.
Melissa, all of us are from the South pretty much.
Yeah. What part of the South? I'm in Louisiana.
I'm in South Carolina.
I'm in Guam.
She's in
I'm very
Mississippi.
much from the north.
Oh, Mississippi. Larry is from Mississippi.
Dirt Rooster.
Larry Gandy.
Did Randy say he was going to make a stop by if he had time?
Yeah, he said he would if they get done and we're still on. He might stop by.
How much did they offer you, Bob, to do the catch the swarms?
Oh, Randy, nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
was it not offering you a
You get
job?
to
No.
He's got a whole team, and he's like way far away from me.
You get the prestige.
The prestige. Yeah, I get to be on a video.
Oh, good.
Oh, maybe it was Apame, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. This feeder though, I've got two of them. They're plastic. I mean, what do you expect, right? But for going inside of a feeder, or a shim or a box, that's pretty good. It sits right on the frames.
Now the Apame feeder does work very similar to that one in that they come up through the bottom and then go into a box, but it's the Apame feeder works more. It's more like an integral. It's an inner cover and a feeder at the same time, though.
Right.
That's the main difference there. That one you'd have to sit inside of a feeder shim.
Man. Hey, Brad, you just had your thing up there. You're out of equipment. Do you have any undrawn comb at all you can throw in? Just hot swap out. I mean, if you're running out of equipment, one of the quick fixes is to pull out your capped frames and stow them someplace, and put in some of the undrawn comb and keep the bees busy that way.
Hey Lee, can you make me big?
That costs extra.
That's the picture of the outside of where the cutout is. You see the building?
No.
So they're going in, I guess, where the two red circles are. And on the other side of that is a bathroom.
Man. Okay.
So
what are you going to do with that? I missed that video.
Well, that's the one that I'm supposed to go see tomorrow.
Oh.
So I don't know. That's why when she's like, well, how much is it going to cost? Hell, I don't know.
Sarah said that cost extra.
Story there too.
Yeah, she said that they're getting inside, but right there. But when you're in the bathroom, you can hear the bees through the sheetrock.
Really?
Hey, Melissa, you watch 628 Dirt Rooster? He's from Gulfport, Biloxi area.
And he might be stopping by.
Yep.
Look, I even cut my hair for you guys tonight. Shaved the neck.
Don't let him lie. He knew Dirt Rooster might stop by. He was just getting dressed up.
Had to look good for the big name.
Bob, do I look like someone who really cares about haircuts?
Yeah.
Hey, ever since I was in the military, I can't stand hair touching my ears. I've got to cut it off.
I ain't gonna lie. I used to have mine like a sumo wrestler. It would grow just on the top. I had the bottom shaved, but my bangs, I could grab it and touch my belt loop with it.
Really?
I've grown it out 2 times like that. Grown it all the way down, put it in ponytail on top, cut it off.
Oh,
Mr. Ed's been on our stream before.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Jeff's a wonderful guy. Just absolutely wonderful.
Well, we started a bit early tonight. We've got 52 people in here right now.
I think we started about 7-8 minutes early, somewhere around there. Wasn't too bad.
So let's figure out. All right, so this is going to be our next giveaway. Next Tuesday will be the last one. So you got to do it right. If you don't, there's people still don't do it right. All you got to do is wait for it to end, comment on Lee's channel on this video and on my channel on this video, and you will be entered to win. If you don't do both of them, because Lee's got this fancy schmancy spreadsheet that tells us if you've done both of them. And
we'll pull that up.
And we'll show the people who didn't do it the correct way. And we want you to be entered to win, but nothing's changed. I can't read that for nothing. Frank Fermana didn't do it right. Dennis and Eugene did not. And Texas Beekeeper commented on Lee's and not mine. So
If your name is in green, that means you've commented on both channels.
So we do have the most we've ever had. So the giveaway, guys, is a wood pulp swarm trap, a 2-ounce bottle of Swarm Commander, a 16-ounce bottle of Honeybee Gone, and a 16-ounce bottle of Beekeeper's Choice feeding stimulant. And we can go ahead and do the spin now if you want to, because it's usually about an hour in when we do it. We started a little bit early.
Can I call for a recount on that?
I love it.
Hey, I went in right before the stream and looked on mine.
What
And
did I not do? Please tell me.
You got to comment on both channels.
I thought I did.
And then sometimes I get like 2 or 3 of the same people on mine. So
Yeah, I think I had one that had like 3 comments on mine.
Not that I could win anyway, but that's
why could you not win? I told you I would go get it and mail it to you if you won. It would take forever, and you'd have to
got your
pay
T-shirt yet.
Well, I don't make those or ship them. So, did you get a notification that it was mailed out or that it was being made?
I did get one that was shipped. Yes.
All right, so probably in about 3 years when it crosses the Atlantic.
I'm gonna double check my channel, just make sure I didn't miss anything today.
Oh man!
And if you're curious about the shirt that he's talking about, I don't have mine on right now, but I will share a link.
Not
that
to
you can go
plug
look
your
at
shirt around, Bob. No, don't be doing that.
I got to plug my shirt. So it's I'm just gonna.
Are they as grumpy in South Ireland, or is it just in Northern
Just
Ireland?
in Northern Ireland.
I'm just curious.
All right, now I got one thing.
We're real grumpy over here.
Bob,
Yeah, all around, huh?
you said you would ship it to Ireland, right?
Yep.
I did just go check my channel, and somehow I missed it. But
Okay. Now he'll win, and I'll have to pay like some exorbitant. I have to pay more than the damn prize pack.
it actually shows he did comment 6 days ago, so I did miss that one.
All right, so there you go.
Oh, Eugene Nelson is saying I commented on both. 33-mile bees. What is 33 miles? Down a dirt road or something, Phil?
It's a long walk. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great name.
So if you've ever seen me wear my Game of Drones shirt, that's a link to where you can buy one if you choose to, and if you don't, so be it. No skin off my back.
Oh, there we go. Gear bubble.
And I appreciate it if you do, but if you don't, I understand that as well. No big deal. All right, you got everybody now, Mr. OCD man.
Yep, I'm about to bring the wheel up. Get to another window.
Phil is going to win. Well, no need to spin it now. Just mail it to Phil.
Wait, you got to mail it to Phil.
Yeah. Cost $500 to mail it over.
Yeah.
All right, we ready for this?
Let's do it. Who's going to win? Let's see if Earl's still 3 for 3. He's 2 for 2. Iowa Layons
Beekeeping.
All right, Iowa Layons Beekeeping. You can email me at rwalker2016@gmail.com with your shipping information. And I just linked it in there so you can copy and paste it. And that way you can, I can get that out there to Iowa. And we'll get it going. But this is the last time, guys. This is the last week. We got, we've done this will be the 5th week coming up.
Yeah. So after the video or after the live stream's over tonight, go and leave a comment under the video, not in the live chat, but after the video is over, leave a comment on both channels, thumbs up and sub, and it'll get you entered into the drawing for next Tuesday.
And then I'll hit him up to see if we can get some more free stuff. So order from Blythewood Bee Company, and they support us, and we'll support them.
Sounds good.
Don't you have a giveaway coming up, Bob, when you reach a certain number, 2,000 or something? Or
Yeah, I do.
Spotlight.
Yes, when I hit
Good luck
2,000.
chipping that, Aaron.
When I get 2,000 subs, I'm going to be giving away a licensed solar wax melter from Better Bee.
you gonna mail that to Northern Ireland as well? Or
Yeah, maybe. He's got to win first, then I'll make game time decision. And
That
right
was
now,
from Better Be.
from Better Bee, it's $170 value.
Licensed extractor, no text. That'd be a lovely thing, though, wouldn't it?
I'm at 1861, so I got 139 more subs to go for the licensed wax melter.
It's getting there.
If I've got a video on this thing, and so does Bruce's Bees. If you haven't checked it out,
Do you need sunshine for that to work?
Yeah. You don't have solar there, so it won't even do you any good. Don't even enter.
Maybe Phil tilted towards the wood stove there.
Does it work with moonshine? No.
And it makes nice little wax blocks, beautiful wax blocks.
There you go.
It definitely won't run off your warm personality. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
And
that's deep, William.
now you're going to be giving away a jacket, right? When you get to the 500. Say 500.
He just passed 200, I think. Phil said he's going to make 200 fake accounts.
Oh, Phil, you're definitely north of Detroit.
That's
my gosh.
That's one thing about Phil. Phil's got a good sense of humor.
Oh.
You have to have living over here.
you got to be able to take it and give it, right?
Oh yeah.
That's Hale a little bit. It was his great one-liners. So
Lee's been extracting honey.
Yes. Did you get that uncapper dialed in?
Yeah. About the last 3 frames, I dialed it in. I had the front of it adjusted, but I forgot to adjust the 2 back spring screws.
Now the real question is, why do you have to readjust that every time? Because
no, you don't have to adjust it every time. I didn't use it last year because I was running 10 frame supers, so the wax wasn't drawn out enough. But
so this is your first season that you've used it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be mine too.
I think the only time you would probably have to adjust it is if you're using wood frame versus the plastic frames.
Do you have that clip of that you had? See, watch. I'm gonna call it right now. See, Brad's trolling in the chat, right? But Dirt Rooster will pop in, and then Brad will show up in the bottom down here to come on the stream. He waits for the big names to show up. The big guns will show up, and then there's Randy right there. Speaking of the Dirt Rooster.
Oh, Randy. Okay.
Hey, Randy.
Head there, Bob.
And look at another big name. There's Brian.
All right, I got that. Well,
and yeah, Cajun. I live in Oklahoma. We're not really too worried about the pinky blinders in Oklahoma.
All right, I got that video here, Bob.
All right, so this is a clip of that uncapper with Lee using it yesterday. Same uncapper that I've got right here.
Hey, I think we're heated up enough. I ain't 100% sure, but it's pretty dang warm.
That's how you just touch it.
On here, I'm going to bring it up, and you can see, hopefully you can see the V blade here is very sharp on the edges, and it has steam coming through this line, running through the blade and out the other side into a bucket. And all you do, you just take this, run it right across them blades, and the wax will fall straight to the bottom. And I didn't have the blade adjusted properly. I take this, flip it over, And it looked like a little bit on the edge. Didn't quite get it, but it wasn't built out super wide. You gotta slide it across this side here. More wax falling in.
And I imagine once you have it dialed in, you can.
Like I may need to adjust.
Yeah,
that
once
blade.
once I dialed it in, it was cutting good.
So there's an adjustment you're saying, Lee, on the point and then also on the edges as well.
Let me see if.
Oh, so those little springs there. That's
Oh, I
an
see
adjustment
three of
point?
them there, William.
Yeah, this
Okay,
little
I see
spring
what you're
here, one here, and then one in the back.
So you dialed in the one in the back, but the one on the edges, they weren't up high enough.
Yeah, the two on the back here I forgot to adjust, but the single one I did for the tip. But the back of the blade wasn't raised up high enough. That's why I was missing these sides here.
So you heard it here first. Lee gave him just the tip.
Beep.
Demonetized, just like that.
It does work good, and I'm running 9 frames in my supers this year. So I pulled off 2 supers, so that's 18 frames. Well, 2 of them had a good bit of brood left in it, so I didn't uncap none of that. So out of 16 frames, I got a little over 53 pounds of honey just out of the frame itself. Now the cappings were still draining. I'm up to over 58 pounds, including that right now, and I still got to tilt my uncap or my extractor over to get the last bit of honey out of that. So I'll be pushing about 60 pounds out of 16 frames.
That's a good amount of honey. What did it end up? 53 pounds out of 16.
It was 58 after some of the cappings drained, and they still draining more. So I'm figuring it's going to be pushing 60 pounds. So that's about 3 3/4 pounds per frame.
That's not bad for a medium frame.
What was the shade of that honey?
Kind of a medium. It wasn't as light as I thought it was going to be because our privet didn't last very long this year.
Okay.
We didn't really get no rain early in the spring.
So what was the nectar source you think, Lee, mostly? Or?
I'm figuring mostly it had tallow in it, but I mean, it did have some privet too.
Okay, yeah, tallow. Yeah.
Okay. Mine, I just label as wildflower because I have no idea what it is. It's just whatever.
Yeah, here for us to label it a specific type, you have to have it DNA tested, and it has to be at least 51% to label it. So you either got to put wildflower honey or just raw honey.
Yeah, a full 5 gallons is 60 pounds, Rhonda.
Yeah.
So actually, Rhonda brought up an interesting point because I was looking at your extractor there, Lee, and I'd forgotten that when I set my extractor up, I got the wood floor in the shop, and I traditionally put it on 4x4s, like 2 4x4s at an angle, and then that lifts the whole critter up a bit, and then I can get the bucket and the filter underneath the extractor.
Well, Lee bought these micron 200 micron strainers from Better Bee, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
I believe I got those from Dadant.
They go
but
right.
I got the 400 micron and the 200 micron.
Now, how do you clean those out?
Basically, I flip them over and just run cool water through them backwards rather than trying to push anything through it. And I mean, it rinses right out. It cleans off better than the stainless steel strainer that I had.
Well, why do you think that is?
No idea. But it cleans off 10 times as easy as that stainless steel.
Really? So yeah, when I do the stainless steel, I got to invert it and then pour boiling water in that.
Yeah. I've inverted my stainless steel. I've put boiling water on it. I've actually even used my torch from a distance just to heat up any wax to melt it back out.
I thought about taking mine and setting it in the solar melter to see if
I was just going to ask, honestly.
I haven't done that yet, but hey, we have an all-time high viewer count right now at 66 at one time. So
I wonder if it's because the stainless steel they're woven, right?
Oh, yeah. William, I think you hit it on the head there.
At least I have a 400 micron, but it's woven, and I imagine the friction would be much greater on them because it gets between the wires and everything.
But the plastic ones that I get, they are a heck of a lot cheaper than the stainless steel too. I paid $53 a piece for my stainless ones, and I got 4 of them. I won't buy no more. These plastic ones I get, $6.95.
Really?
If they wear out, buy another one. I buy a couple at a time of each.
And they're that easy
400
to clean
and
out.
the 200.
That's got me intrigued. the metal ones too, William, that, when you go to pour hot water on them, it might distribute the heat, suck it away too. I don't know. Bob's comment about putting one of those in the solar melter, you might be onto something then, but then you end up with a scrum on there and so on too, to a
Right.
small extent. I don't know. Let us know what happens with that, Bob. That might be a bloody good idea. But Lee, I got you. You're on my equipment list for next time.
And these strainers did go up this year. I just pulled it up. They're $8.95 a piece now.
Okay. So how many of those do you keep on hand?
I got 4 of each.
Yeah.
And it fits right in the
Yeah,
in the top.
it fits all the way around the top of the bucket perfectly.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I see something? There's a question Dennis asked, and I missed it. Where is it, Dennis?
Oh, thank you, Iowa. Okay, yeah. Lee mentioned using cold water.
Yeah.
Iowa, in case you didn't catch it, you won the giveaway this week. So make sure you send me an email with your contact information.
Now, I found that cold water cleans it out better than warm water. Warm water is going to cause your wax to melt a little bit and then push through your filter or your strainer or your grating, and it's going to end up getting stuck more.
Am I the only one that takes a 5-gallon paint strainer and puts it all the way down in the bucket? So when the
Bruce's Bees does that.
When the honey is coming out of the gate, it's actually catching it, any remnants that's left in there through my strainer. So I run it through the strainer, and then I put the paint strainer in the bucket. So when I open the gate, it's running through the paint strainer out the gate.
Hey, Jared, did you have any honey left in them boxes from last year they overwintered with? It could have been some goldenrod possibly or something that was left over.
And used a paint strainer.
And it looked like I was getting in touch with you.
All right, cool. Thanks. I'll get that to them tomorrow, and we'll get it in the mail to you, or they'll get it into mail to you. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, you've got another option too. Actually, it's kind of related, but not quite. So I've got an uncapping tank, and I put a paint roller screen in there to catch the cappings. And that wouldn't work for our extractors because we've already got the thing really fine. Something, I've got to do a video on our extracting or uncapping tank, because it captures all that doggone wax before it hits the ground. It keeps all the wax up off the floor, so it's not like being bound up.
Well,
making wax dams.
The Lyson has trays, stainless steel trays that go in there that are graded, so it catches the wax cappings, and the honey drips through the grate into the trough to go out.
I've got to look closer at that. That just sounds so slick. I don't have the room to put that, but I like it.
I'm about to bring that back up, see if you could see it.
I did see the holes, Lee, but Rhonda has 2 supers ready to extract. Hey, film it or it didn't happen. Sorry.
Got to make a video. Yeah, see,
if you look in the bottom.
I see what you got going there. Yeah.
It has 2 trays that go in it, one on each end, but generally I only use the one. If that one does fill up, I'll probably slide it down and then put the other one in its place.
No.
And the bottom is tapered, and the spout comes out of the bottom of the tank.
I like it.
So it drains right to the drain. The drain's on the bottom. So you don't have to try to tilt it or anything. It all comes out the bottom. So this will be my first season using that as well. So
actually, you guys just made me feel really stupid. So my uncapping tank and all the uncapping tanks, they have the opening on the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what the heck? I'm going to put mine, one of them underneath it.
The license comes out of the bottom, yeah.
Yeah, just like the license. So thank you for that, guys.
So the thing is, like with your license, what I haven't used my extractor and I haven't used the uncapping tank yet, but they typically use like a 3-gallon, 2.5 or 3-gallon pail, I guess, in Europe. So that's why you can't get a 5-gallon pail under it, right? So you have to lift it up a little bit.
Yeah, and back to my thing about using the 4x4s.
I still have the pallet my extractor came on. So I'm just going to put it back on the pallet and lift it up that way.
I'm about to say my extractor with it sitting flat on the floor, I could slide a 5-gallon bucket under it, but the valve comes out the side and you got 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch lip in it. So I do have to tilt my extractor sideways to get that last little bit out. And whenever I tilt it, then it does hit the bucket.
Okay. You got to have an unclosed, unbottling tank or you're nothing.
Then this is the steam uncapper itself.
Yep.
So what's that source of steam on that thing?
It's a Wagner steamer, wallpaper steamer.
Just a Wagner steamer.
Yep. So if it breaks, you go down to Lowe's and buy a Wagner steamer.
Absolutely genius.
It works good. Now, when you first plug it up, it takes about 15 to 20 minutes for it to get up to temperature and then start pumping steam through the blades.
Okay. And Lee, you and I have talked about this before, but I saw this fellow. I get a kick out of him because he's figured out a bunch of stuff that Jeff Willard. Yeah, that's his name. He did the one where he's using the electric carving knife, but he put it on a variable speed. And to watch him uncap with that thing,
I tried that last year and it just didn't do well for me.
Well, okay, that was you that was talking about that. So I got to, if you take a look at it, he's doing it. It's pretty slow, and I have no idea what brand it is. He just got it for $5 at the Goodwill or whatever. But so I've got that doggone commercial one frame uncapper of mine. But I'll tell you what, next time I'm in the Goodwill or something, I'm going to pick one of those things up. I just got to see it go. The problem that you had, the way it's smooth as it is for him.
Right.
That's a great, like on a budget potential.
Oh yeah, for sure. I tried it last year.
Did he put the blade in hot water or something before using it?
No, he didn't. But you know what he did do? If something, I should find the link and put it over there. What he did do is he has the thing on a variable speed with a foot feed on it. It's the damnedest thing you've ever seen.
So he added a variable speed with a foot controller to a good.
I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. It's really funny. I'm grabbing the link here. I'm going to throw it up on Lee's channel, and he can distribute it as fit. It's really the guy has done some other stuff too. Like he made a bottling tank and some other things too. And the guy figured out some type of
is he the guy that used like a stainless steel turkey pot and put a gate on it for a bottling tank?
No, it's actually what is it? It's actually it's from the same company that Lee sent me to buy the buckets.
Baytech.
Yeah, thank you. And if anybody just wants the title of the video, I'll throw that up there too. But this guy's kind of fun.
It's funny. I'm looking at Melissa's comment. Sarah, I don't plan on anything big. You like it. And I didn't plan on anything big either when I started. And 3 years in, I've bought a bunch of stuff. And the thing is with the extractor, it's almost like I felt, looking back, I should have just bought a bigger extractor from the beginning. In hopes,
Bob, in all fairness to you, though, I mean, the guys that start out, how many of us have started out with a three frame hand crank? There you go.
I've seen a bunch of people take the handle off of that though and put a battery or electric drill on it.
I love that idea.
Put it on slow speed though. Don't put it on fast, and then just barely ease into that trigger.
Yeah.
Just sit there and spin it out for you.
And
that link you put up, Mike, it ain't working for me. It's saying, "Oops, something went wrong."
I see it in the chat. Oh, I see Mike's comment.
Yeah, I clicked it in the studio over here.
Sorry about that.
If it don't work in there, send it to kodiakfarm@yahoo.com.
Okay. Let's see. What do I have here?
If it don't work, I'll build a still. I don't know. I'm a pretty frugal guy. I know it doesn't look like it when I go and buy nuke boxes or whatever, but I try not to buy it unless I feel like I need it. I got my first extractor was a Chinese electric one that I got off of eBay for like $300 or something, 4 and 8 frames, and I just found that it took forever for me to, 4 boxes of honey frames just took me a long time to process, and so when I had a little bit of money, I went ahead and upgraded.
All these comments about crushing and straining. I did that for 3 years, and then I realized how much of the potential honey was going to the just
Making wax.
And boy, that was an eye opener. But it works. Crushing and straining absolutely works.
Oh, that's what I was doing with my cappings. All the cappings would be caught in that paint strainer, and I would just squeeze it to the bottom and just twist them and twist them and twist them until the honey was out of it, and just had a nice little ball of wax left over, and then I'd melt that down.
Yeah.
You can uncap the frames in a hot room and let them drip also. Yep.
Yeah, let me thinking about go back up here, find it. Mr. Paul at Hell's Hive said that 200 micron strainer he found's a little slow for cold honey. Now, when I went outside the other day, it was 90 degrees and it flowed pretty good. But yeah,
that was fun to watch.
The cooler is going to be, you're going to want to go with a higher micron because it will take longer to go through.
Man, my dad used to crush and strain. He had 10 hives at the most. But that's a lot there, Gorilla. I mean, that's a lot of holy smokes. But I'd be really interested to know what your dad did with all that beeswax there, because 10 hives of beeswax totally scraped off the frames. I have no idea how much weight that would be.
You make lip balm out of
them. His dad.
Our candles.
Yeah.
I got candles also.
I know this is unpopular, but I just plan to turn the key and the honey comes out.
Right, for the flow hive.
Yeah.
It's not unpopular. It's just impractical for someone that's got a lot of colonies. If they've got a few colonies,
completely understand.
I like the idea of the flow hive. I mean, I think it's a pretty cool little idea. You don't have to buy all the equipment.
I don't plan to have any more than most half a dozen hives.
Yeah. The only watchword there, Phil, is that when you go to empty that doggone thing, you will get bees that will swarm out and go in there. One thing you can do with those is you can take a plastic tube and run it down to like an enclosed jar or bucket.
Oh yeah, I planned to. I'm not going to do it open the way that you see the guys.
Yeah,
I've seen them put a lid on and drill a hole and then run that tube into.
And then
you can actually buy a mason jar with a lid with the hole in it.
There you go.
3/4 inch hole in it.
Yeah.
And I've seen where the first time you use it and you crack it, that I've seen where the honey will drip back down into the colony. And then after the first time, it's like the bees do something and fix it.
Oh yeah.
I think, but it's the bees got to figure it out too, I guess.
Don't get me wrong. I haven't actually done it yet, but
you should get some this year.
How do you find your bees? Are they coming up through the queen excluder?
I would cross my fingers if I could, but unfortunately I can't. So,
fair enough. Are they coming through the queen excluder pretty good for you, Phil, and going up into
I've had some queen issues, and my I have a hive now that's just starting to explode. So I put a super on it at the weekend. So I'm hoping that they will. Yes.
I think I'm going to put a different queen excluder than the one that came with the original flow hives. I bought a used flow hive, like the 2015 Founders Edition flow hive, off of some guy on Facebook. But I feel like the queen excluders, like the slats, and I don't know if it's the one that came with it or just one that the guys got. It's a plastic one.
Yeah.
But I feel like the slits are running the wrong way. They don't run with the frame; they run left to right, and I feel like maybe they're a little narrow, and that might be slowing them down a little bit. So I'm going to put a different queen excluder on there and see if they can.
I'm going to have to check mine now just to see which way they are running. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm curious if maybe they're making them different now, because the one I've got so old, it may not even be a fair criticism. They may be doing it different now. I don't know.
I'll get back to you on that.
So there is a new article on Forbes about a robotic beehive using AI to save the bees and global food supply.
Yeah, Houston just made a comment here.
Yeah,
Beehives
and-
are going AI.
And I'm going to drop a link to the article if anybody wants to check that out.
I watched a little video on it, and it's like all the content was either CGI or I don't know. I didn't see any actual footage that really showed it in action. Maybe they've got more now.
This
Sounds
one's
like
got
crap to me, to be honest.
it looks like a little mobile trailer that they've got out there. It says we're losing honeybee colonies at an unprecedented rate globally. Just 40 years ago, the annual colony loss rate was a mere 3%. Today, it's more than 35%. When this rate surpasses 50, the world would be unable to sustain the bee population, says Sar Safra, CEO and co-founder of BeeWise, an Israeli startup determined to save the bees. Bee Home is BeeWise's newly designed beehive that includes precision robotics, computer vision, and AI. It enables a constant monitoring of the bees using AI to observe their needs in real time. BeeWise does not alter what beekeepers traditionally do. Rather, it augments their work by upgrading the traditional 150-year-old beehive.
If that's coming out of Israel, this is going to get really exciting. Those guys are good.
And there is a YouTube video. So
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
Is that all CG?
No, I didn't. I mean, some of the where they were showing how it worked and everything, and they're probably trying to protect their design. They don't want people ripping them off. You know what I mean? When they're still.
Oh,
If China's seen it, it's already done.
I know, right? I'm just saying, like some of the things they say it does. It's like, man, does it really add room to them and stuff? Like, how would that happen? And I didn't see any bees making honey in it, so I'm like, you know what I mean? It looks really expensive. I'm skeptical. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it could be. Randy just put up there that Kim Floten is big on AI and commercial beekeeping. I'd really like to see him talk about that.
Avocados.
Kim is some guy that I really respect him. Yeah, well, we're not so much interested in robots per se as
bees.
Technology is technology. As long as it's not getting in my phone, I'm happy.
AI is a concept that's being used far too much at the minute. It's just a buzzword.
Yeah. Workout. We were dealing with voting technology 25 years ago, and that was pretty cool stuff. But yes, Houston take. Oh, Phil, one last thing about your flow hive. Just try and pick the hottest day that you possibly can have there in Ireland to open up those flow hives. Yeah. I know, brother. I know. I just had to say it.
Yeah, that's like 12 degrees.
Yeah. There was a running joke. They were it was like, oh, damn, it's raining here all the time. And the guy turns around, looks at him and says, why do you think everything's so green?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
If 12 is yours, I mean, that's 53 Fahrenheit. So, I mean, that ain't very warm.
It says it monitors every bee.
Bullshit.
I think it's
coming in and out.
It seems to me like it's a good way for a couple guys to get rich off of government grants.
Yeah.
True.
Is what it looks like to me. They're claiming to solve a bunch of problems that don't exist, and I don't see how it's helping the bees in any way. But that's just from what I've seen. I mean,
drone and use of place of bees for pollination. I did see him talk about that, Randy. That was a while ago.
I've seen that they was talking about it on some of the almond fields, flying drones over for pollination.
Yeah, interesting. Very, very interesting. So, guys, I'm going to take off here and try and make it an early evening, but we're supposed to be getting the hives from Heroes guys coming over here this weekend, and my
Nice.
friend Troy Slaughters, he's got 60 queens coming out, queen cells coming out on Friday. So we're going to be putting in some of the breeder boxes on top of the 3-way split 10 frames on top of some double screen boards, just because it's going to be cool here. So that's the excitement that I got going. That and try and do some frame equalization.
You got a video?
Yes, we will video it. We will video it. I finally got a filming winch. So that's a watch for the polar bears. Yeah, okay. No, man, Lord. I just love that. Who was it? Greg was asking, can you really eat polar bears? I'm trying to yeah, you can. You just have to cook them because they're full of worms. But what do you guys got going on this week here?
A lot of work, and I figure I'm going to add a couple more supers this coming weekend. I got my new yard. They were almost ready last weekend, but not quite. I didn't want to throw too much room on them and take a chance of any hive beetles getting in.
Yeah. Are
So
you
I
still
figure I'd wait till
packing
this
in the
week, that
peppermint?
way some more hatch out and then add supers.
Okay. Are you still packing the peppermint in all the 4 corners?
Yep.
Okay.
Now my number 4 yard is up in the woods about 40 foot or so, and I've putting peppermints on it since day one, and I hadn't seen a beetle in there yet. Now last weekend when I opened some of the hives in my backyards that I hadn't put peppermints on lately, I did have about 10 hive beetles in one of the hives.
Okay.
I killed them and then added peppermints.
Okay. And then Bob, are you going to go to the bee store tomorrow?
Got a cutout to go check out.
Going to buy no more nukes?
No, I keep saying I'm done buying stuff, and I keep buying stuff.
You're addicted to buying nukes, Bob.
Well, I bought 2 frame nukes, and then DC's Bees was like, "Oh, now you're going to need more 5 frames." I'm like, "Yeah, you're probably right. I probably need some more."
Yeah,
5
you
frames.
hit that one on the head for sure.
Yeah,
So-
but both B's best customer.
Oh yeah, probably. I
You
wouldn't
know, it's
doubt.
kind of funny if you look at their business cards now, Phil. They actually have Bob's face on them.
Yeah.
Right.
No
My
wonder he's
YouTube
going
channel.
to Hive next.
I did. You know what? They had a lady that called them for bees, and they gave her my number, and she wants 4 nukes. And I'm thinking, man, it's getting kind of late in the year to be putting nukes out. But then I hear Phil say he got late nukes, and they swarmed on them in the early spring. So I might be selling 4 more nukes here coming up. So we'll see.
Yeah, but Bob, I'll tell you a little secret, Bob. Anytime you buy 10 to 25 of something, it sets off a chain reaction. So if you buy 25 queens, then now you're going to need 25. You know what I mean? Buy
Right.
10.
Oh, it's a cascade. Oh, well put, William.
So I got, well, yeah, I bought 25 queens, then I bought 32 frame nukes, right?
Well,
Then
you
it
have
was
to. It set off the chain reaction.
and then I had to buy, then I just bought 10 5-framers today to go with the other 5 that I bought a couple weeks ago.
Sounds like an addiction to me.
All right, we got a question here from Ricky needing a little bit of help for somebody.
Okay.
It's a couple parts to this.
New beekeeper new because it's all 2 weeks ago. And I found, believe the swarm last week. I found open queen cells. It could be. Collected them. They were really hard to do in the original box. Last one with the main box. I swarmed again. Caught them in both boxes. Were fanning really hard. Say horizontal bees. New box is empty. I should have split the main hive and put in the morning. I have never had this problem. Horizontal. You're probably spot on, but please watch Bob Binney's talk on double screen boards because it's really helpful to recover some hives like that, dividing them up and going from there. So Bob Binney's double screen boards, that's my only input. Guys, what do you got going there?
I could possibly make a split, and then like William was saying earlier, when you got a swarm, try to put a frame of brood in there, open brood and some captive brood, but preferably open, and that's going to tie onto that box. They're not going to want to leave that brood.
So the second swarm is trying to abscond. Is that what he's saying? Like they left the box completely?
Sounds like it was an aftercast, is my guess.
Yeah.
Sounds like that one that absconded probably had a virgin in there. Probably had a virgin queen. That's a little more tricky.
Is
That's what he's saying. I'm not good at reading, apparently.
I didn't catch all the whole chain.
The new box was empty this afternoon.
I'll bring them back up again.
There you go.
new beekeeper has a nuke that he installed 2 weeks ago in an 8-frame box. I believe they swarmed last week. So I found open queen cells. Did the queen die and they just have queen cells in there, or is there a queen in there?
Yeah, are they swarm cells or are they supersedure cells on the side of the frames?
And
he's catching swarms from the box, right?
Well,
Yeah. We
catching
caught them,
swarms.
and both boxes were fanning really hard. I bet you they swarmed. They cast a second swarm. They caught the second swarm, and you're dealing with virgin queens coming out, maybe not coming back or not mated yet. And that's why the bees are acting like that. I bet you they don't even have the original queen.
Swarm cells.
Sounds like what happened to me. They just swarmed, cast.
Well, if they had 5 drawn
Billy,
out frames and you put them in an 8-frame, that should have been enough. But the thing is, you don't know how long that nuke has been in that nuke box when you get it. Like the ones I got had been in past the time they were supposed to have been in somebody's colony already.
Yeah, they had swarm cells when you got it.
Yeah, so if they didn't check, if you didn't check every frame when you're putting it over to make sure there was no swarm cells in there, they could have already been in swarm mode when you moved them in your box. Yeah, that's what Dirt Rooster just said. They were probably ready to swarm when he installed them.
I think you're right.
Hale's right there, and so am I with you there, William. So, okay, well, gentlemen, God bless. Y'all have a great evening, and
all right, Mike.
Very nice to meet you there, Phil. I'm sorry that I might see you again, but I probably will.
Yeah, have a good one, Mike.
Have a beer next time. Live long and prosper.
Brother. Amen.
And hey, Randy, if you want to hop in, man, hit the link, brother.
It should be pinned to the top of both chats.
And so it's just been a crazy little bit of time here, going and I was really surprised to start getting swarm calls now because it's kind of in the flow. And, here it's hot. I wasn't expecting to start getting swarm calls, but they're starting to, heat up with swarm calls. People still wanting queens and they're wanting nukes apparently this time of year.
See, none of my swarm traps caught any this year. I had a couple of scout beads coming around, but nothing ever caught. But I'm leaving them out anyway. That way, when the nectar flows over, sometimes they'll start swarming. They're full of bees and they ain't got nothing else to do.
There was a lot of course, I'm not in Oklahoma right now, but there was a lot of posts about swarms today, specifically in our area. I noticed on the Book of Faces.
Right.
I think in general we're a little bit behind this year, as far as like the flow and everything. But also we had a good week of rain too, so maybe they just colonies hadn't swarmed yet. And
local nuke here for $120 on Craigslist. Buy it. If it's a good nuke, buy it. If you're going to buy it.
As soon as you get it, check it for swarm cells and see if you need to split them.
Yeah, that's the first thing I did with those nukes as I was putting them in.
Hey, here comes that master cutout man.
There he is.
Randy.
Looks like he's dipping his chicken nuggets.
Got a bad connection. I might have to try again.
We can hear you fine. Oh. Well, he'll be back. Looked like he was dipping his chicken nuggets. His Mickey D 20-pack chicken nuggets. So we'll see if Randy will come back in here in a second. But so I mean, here he comes. What'd you do? Get chicken nugget juice on the camera?
I got a terrible connection.
We can hear you fine.
We can hear you good.
He probably can't hear us though. That's the problem.
Yeah, we can hear him. But he can't hear.
That's what I'm hearing from y'all.
Oh man. Well, we can hear you fine. So you went on a cutout today?
Yeah. I'm gonna get up the road a couple miles and try again.
All right. See, Every few weeks, Randy makes that guest appearance on the show. You never know. Could be this week. Could be next week. You never know. Yeah, it's probably barbecue sauce. He's probably got some barbecue sauce on his camera.
He's just trying to muscle in on the main show.
Yeah. I wish I had half the subs that he's got.
You ain't lying.
Half of them would make me happy.
Question, but
It's fried bees.
So, guys, we all need to know the big question. Is it the Lee and Bob show or the Bob and Lee show?
I think it's Lee and Bob.
Before you
that
guys
way.
get famous, we need to know what it is.
Well, you read left to right, and Lee's usually on the left-hand side. How are you always on the left-hand side, though, Lee?
Usually, I'm
he
in the
controls
studio first.
Oh,
He controls it. He controls it.
Oh yeah, I mean I can move
Yeah,
everybody around.
You ever notice that it always says on his channel that we're going live, but it doesn't show it on my channel that we're going live.
It
Right,
all,
we
your
all- we
your
all
alert
need to
always
know.
pops up on mine. Anyway,
Yeah,
Ron got a question here.
It's probably just from your perspective it's not popping up, Bob, because I see it on mine.
Yeah, it pops
Oh,
up
dude.
on mine.
I usually click on the first one that I see, and I think I normally end up in Bob's chat. But sometimes I end up in Lee's chat. It just depends which one. So it's got to be popping up because I end up in your chat.
Well, cool. I like
think YouTube. I think YouTube just feeds me Bob more because Bob usually posts 5 to 8 videos per day.
That and he got more subs that may come in. Too. Hey, here
All right.
come Randy again.
Here comes Randy again. Randy, can you hear us now?
Yeah, that's better.
I'm going to save you a question there, Rhonda, and pull it back up.
Is the what did we get in the drive-through today?
It was better for a second.
Uh,
You
I
got
said-
me now?
yeah,
he was asking what you got in the drive-through tonight.
Oh, you can't hear us. Can you hear us, Randy? No, he can't hear us. Hey, Randy.
Earth to Randy. No.
He can't hear us. We're having. Hey, anyone know sign language?
Yeah, but I can't show that one.
We could let Phil do it, but we'd miss every other word.
Yeah, we would. Yeah.
Hey, while we waiting on Randy,
That
I'm
was a
gonna
low
run this
blow,
question
Bob.
back
That
up
was a
here.
low blow.
I have a question. I caught a swarm when I moved it at dark. I put a new box up the next day. There was a few bees, a handful up there, like they were left behind. You probably are correct. I did the same thing. I moved mine to my house and put a box on them today, and they left immediately, took off.
Well, I think what she's asking is she caught a swarm
Mhm.
in the box. She removed the box, took those bees home, and then there were some stragglers, some foragers that came back to that same location where she replaced it with another box. And she's wondering if more scouts come to that box and find it occupied with a handful of bees that were abandoned, will that prevent those scouts from checking that box out and moving in?
If it's just a handful, I would say no, because there's no queen in there that they're protecting. So they shouldn't be quite as aggressive. So, I mean, they should just check it out like multiple foragers coming from different hives, just checking out a new box.
That would also be my assumption, but I'm not saying that out of experience. But now I have heard people say that when you catch a swarm, get them out there, put another box back up, and your odds of catching a swarm at that same location are increased.
Mm-hmm.
So based on what I've heard from other people, I would say you shouldn't have to worry about it.
Well,
last year I caught 3 swarms in 3 weeks in the exact same box.
And we probably had some stragglers as well because they don't all make it back every night. So
I put one at the cafe down the road where my girlfriend works. So I caught one, brought it home, took it out of the 5 frame, put it in a 10, and brought that same box right back. 3 weeks in a row, 3 swarms.
Well, we have the Swarm King on here. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, all right. So the question was, Rhonda caught a swarm She moved it after dark home. She put a new box up. The next day, there was a few bees up in there, like they were left behind. She wants to know, will that prevent another swarm from moving in?
Not typically, no. How many bees left behind? What are you calling a few?
We don't know the exact number.
She said a small handful. She doesn't look like she has huge hands, so we're probably talking a couple hundred bees, right?
You talking about left behind in her trap location?
Yeah.
Like the foragers came back.
Yeah, they typically won't do anything to stop another swarm from coming in, and they probably won't. I mean, they're not going to live long anyway, and with no resources and no support in there.
Well, okay, so like my swarm that swarmed off on me today, the one that I caught.
Bob, you can't put a six bedroom family in a 1 bedroom flat. Doesn't work.
Yeah, that was a lot of bees in that nuke, but
doesn't work.
What's the chance that those, when they swarmed
I would have
off,
moved out too,
that they would have begged their way into like another colony if they were queenless? Because I never saw the queen.
Not much chance of that.
So they probably found them house somewhere.
What did you set them up in when you brought them home?
All right, so when I caught them,
1 bedroom flat.
all I had in my truck was a 5-frame nuke with one old frame in it, and so that's what I caught them in. When I brought them home, I put another nuke box on top of them with 5 undrawn combs in it, foundations.
Yeah.
And when I came back, they were gone.
They said this landlord's no good.
Yeah, swarm. Anytime I catch a swarm, I don't care how big it is or how little it is. If I want to keep them, I lock them in for 48 hours. Because if you don't, you stand a real good chance of them just leaving. Another scenario there is if you only had them in the, you said it was a lot of bees. I saw part of the video, but I didn't see the whole thing. That's part of the reason I don't use 5 or 6 frame traps, because if you've got a colony that needs more space than that, they won't accept that. So if you've got,
you're
kind of limiting yourself on what size swarms you can catch on smaller boxes. So I use at least a 10 frame deep, usually a 10 frame and a deep and a medium for my swarm traps.
Well, I was in the bee store when they called the bee store to have it removed, and I'm like, I'll go check it out. And that's when I got it home and opened the top to put the other box on it. If you can see the photo, I don't know, while you're driving.
It was about, what would you say, 3 pounds of bees, wasn't it, Bob?
I would say maybe 5 or better. 5 or 6.
They were.
Well, then you definitely needed a deep and a medium. That many.
Well, again, when I got the call, I didn't know how many it was.
Yeah,
I only took what I had on the truck, and it was evidently not enough. So when I added the box, they had already given up on on the house, I guess.
Well, it's like that one I called at the farmer's market you was talking about. It was completely filling that 5-frame box up. As soon as I got home, I put them straight into a 10-frame.
Now, you don't even open them up, Randy, once you get them home. You don't open them up for 48 hours, period. Don't matter what they're
48 hours. I put them in the shade somewhere in a cool spot and lock them in, because they'll overheat if you leave them out in the sun. But if I lock them in with some ventilation, if you space the lid with some nickels or something like that, that's enough ventilation for them. But I always lock them down for 48 hours, and then I'll go set them up where I want them and then let them fly, because they're going to orient. They're not going to orient until you open them up. But
when I got them home, I spun it to the queen excluder entrance on the little disc.
Yeah,
and it looked like they were oriented because they were facing the box and doing their little figure 8s, and then I came back and they were gone.
Yeah, that's real common. I get that a lot around here. People call me and go, "Hey, I just caught a swarm and put them in my box," and I went back to look again 2 hours later and they were gone. I said, "Well, you called me and asked me what to do. I told you to lock them in. Did you lock them in?" Obviously not, because they're gone. They said, "Well, I thought they would be okay. They seemed like they were taken to the box." I'm like, "Yeah, well, you called me for advice. Why did you even bother calling me?"
When I was on the phone with you earlier, they were laughing at me. They asked, "Did you offer me a job?" The way I was laughing in the background, I said, "No, I was talking about getting that cheap FLIR from Harbor Freight, and you said, well, at least we know how much the service call is going to be, $199.99 to pay.
That's exactly right.
pay for that FLIR.
That's
So,
exactly right.
even if you don't pull the sheetrock down, it's $199.99.
That's exactly what the price is.
Well, if Harbor Freight gives you a free flashlight or something, you can knock $1 off of that.
Right.
Pretty much here, if you buy anything, they give you a free tarp.
A free tarp with it.
Oh, you can use that during your cutout.
Yep.
Even
Lay it on the
on
ground.
my cutouts, if I do a cutout and bring the bees home, if I'm not merging them with another colony, I'm locking them in for 48 hours.
Even with their own, do you give them their own brood back?
I don't try to save any brood unless I'm trying to show somebody how to frame brood. It a lot of times ends up making a mess then and later, and it's a good invite for hive beetles. And you're not going to ever save any of the open brood. You'll only save some of the older cat brood if you save anything.
Right.
So it's easier for me just to throw it all in the melter, reuse that wax, put some heavily waxed. I'm not talking about triple wax from Acorn or something like that. I'm talking about some heavy wax foundations in there, and they'll draw it out fast. And if it's enough bees, they'll be laying in it in a couple days. Yeah. So I don't save any of the brood. I throw it all in a trash bag, and it goes in a melter when I get home, and then they get brand new frames put on them to draw out and start.
What do you do with the honey? You just throw it in a 5-gallon pail?
Depends on what it is. I offer most of it to the homeowner if the homeowner doesn't want it. Pete takes a lot of it home, and I just don't have time to crush and strain and deal with it. So it goes in a bucket, and it later on in the season when we're going through a dearth, I'll open the lid. It'll all be crystallized, and they can go in there and work that bucket down.
That's a good idea.
So I don't. You can't leave a lot of space in there because you'll go open your bucket and it'll be nasty with dead hive beetle larva or wax moths or whatever get in it. But if you fill it up pretty good and pack it down, put a lid on it, and make sure it's sealed up good, you can save that, and our honey crystallizes pretty fast down here, tallow and all that. So by the time I need it, by the time we're going through a dearth, it's all crystallized. I can just pop the lid and just leave it sitting, and they'll clean it up.
So you're saying if they can hear the bees through the sheetrock, it's a pretty good colony?
Probably so. If they're in their bathroom,
they just noticed it.
Yeah.
They just noticed it. It just got there.
Yeah. And
2 years ago.
You said you're not a real sheetrock guy, but you probably can save that piece for them to reuse if you're careful.
That's what I told him earlier. Try to measure to either the center of the stud and cut it so you can nail a new piece on, or if you cut into the stud, just scab a new 2x4 in.
Yeah, you can put dead wood in there to nail to, and that at least covers the wall, so they ain't got to worry about a hole in the wall for stragglers to get in the bathroom after you leave.
That's what my dad done for about 50 years, sheetrock and painting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to climb up the side of the building to plug the outside hole. That's going to be the catch.
Yeah, and if you can't do that, just put a good bead of painter's caulk around the whatever hole you cut, and put some cardboard over it.
Stop them from getting in.
Mash it in real good just to keep them from having problems inside, because they will call you back.
Yeah, it's 45 miles each way, so
yeah, that's the problem.
Do you do a per mile charge?
No,
or you just blend it in the price?
Yeah, I included in the price whatever my price is, includes everything. So we just finished one today. It was we should have finished it yesterday, but it got rained out. It was in a soffit. We opened the soffit and thought we had everything. Bees kept coming, and I figured out they were past the soundboard and into the attic. It was a double-layered roof with a big oak tree overhanging it, so they were able to build in the attic without too much heat. So we opened that up, and here it is, almost 9 o'clock, and I'm rolling up back to the house. But we closed everything back up, put the soffit back together, caulked everything, and it's all back in shape, ready for paint.
That's what I'm worried about, because this is like one of those old downtown buildings, like, Mayberry. Think Mayberry, right? The old Main Street type buildings that's been remodeled. Yeah. And I asked her, was there a drop ceiling? She said, no, not in there. So that means just because the ceiling height in that bathroom is 8 feet doesn't mean that it doesn't go 20 feet on the other side of the ceiling, up to the top. So it's going to be interesting to find out. So
are you sure it's actually sheetrock and not?
Well, that's what she said. It was sheetrock. I mean,
some of the older buildings, they had the wood in there, and then they had the plaster over it.
Well, she said something interesting, because she said from the brick, between the inside of the brick and the sheetrock, because her dad was the one who remodeled it, was like a foot difference. So that could be a foot wide colony in there.
Yeah.
And if it's been in there a while, it probably is a foot wide colony.
Probably so.
So we're definitely gonna see tomorrow, and it would be worth $199 to me if I go out there and shoot it to say I can't do it or I won't do it. Just because of if they're going way up into the ceiling, I can't get to them. I can't do it. I mean, it's just that's
the one we just finished was a follow up from Red Pest. Red Pest had been out there and tried to poison them and couldn't get to them. Charged them a couple $100 to try to kill them. Didn't get the job done, and then we have to come out there. Completely hit the colony. They didn't get poisoned anywhere near the hive.
I still don't get the point of poisoning them, because I mean, you got if it's a hive that's been there for a while, the bees are dead. All that honey's still in the walls. What happened to that?
There was a good bit of honey, and there was a lot of bees in there, so he would have had a stink in there. A guy named Dan Triplett put a post on Facebook. He's another cutout guy down here, and he's a knowledgeable guy. He's a good guy. He put a post on Facebook earlier today that I thought was pretty good. He said a bee colony has a biomass of a coon. So imagine leaving a dead coon in your ceiling.
Right.
And it's about the same thing, because they reek when they, a bunch of dead bees stinks. It's like dead shrimp.
Oh yeah.
Well, after the dead bees, then you're going to have the hive beetles slime it out, and wax moths and everything else.
Yeah. Roaches.
All that
mice,
and everything around in there.
So Beehive Homestead says, Dirt Rooster, is it illegal for exterminators to kill bees down there? Here in Virginia, exterminators will not kill honeybees unless the owner is allergic.
It's not, but most of them think it is, and they keep telling the homeowners it is. And when the homeowner says, the pest control guy told me it's illegal to kill bees, I just go, I don't argue over it.
Here in Louisiana.
That's why I'm here now. It's not illegal for me to charge you to get rid of them, though. Here you go. Here's your bill.
Yeah, it's not illegal, but for some reason, most of them think it is. I don't know why. And they're professional pest control guys. I don't know if that's just they're out because they don't want to fool with it, because most of them don't want to try to kill them. Even Red Pest, the homeowner told me, he said they didn't want to do it, but I talked them into it. And I said, well, they didn't do it. They charged you $200 to blow some powder up in your soffit. They even missed the entrance to the hive. I don't know how they did that.
Well, the Orkin guy here, he told me it's illegal. I don't know if that's just, like you said, they don't want to fool with it, but I'm running with it.
To my knowledge, there may be some state statutes somewhere, but to my knowledge, over most of the country, it's not illegal.
Well, I point blank told the lady, I said, look, here's the deal. I can get the bees gone, but I'm not a sheetrock man. So I can tear it down and get to them, but as far as repairing and replacing, that's up to you guys.
Yeah, that's
my daddy remodeled it, so my daddy will fix it. Okay.
That's a good way to do, because it leaves a lot of the liability off of you if they ever have a problem again. Because I have people that want to do their own repairs or don't want to pay me to do it. I give them the whole rundown about what they need to do and how they need to seal it up, and I guarantee you'll have bees again if you don't seal all this up. And they, I don't, 50% of them maybe do what I tell them, and the other 50% are calling me in a year going, "Hey, I got bees again. Can you come get them for free?"
Do you get, if you don't do any of the repairs, do you get them to sign anything stating beforehand you don't repair? That's on them.
Nothing I do is in writing. It's all handshake agreement.
Okay.
Well, we're definitely going to.
Well, I say that on apartment complexes, I'll give them a written bid describing what we're going to do. Yeah. But on apartment complexes, they all have their own repair guys, so it's rare that I ever have to do a repair on those.
Yeah,
right. It's cheaper for them just to get their guy to go out there and do it.
It is, but even though I don't have to do repairs, if it's an internal removal, like inside a ceiling of a living room or something like that, if I can close up their entrance from the inside while I've got that open, I do that just because I know their guys are probably not going to hit it, and I'm going to be back out there again, and they're going to be like, "Man, this is the third time we paid you to take bees out of this ceiling." Like, yeah, well, it's the third time I've told you what to do when I left, and you didn't do it.
Yeah, I did that. I did a force abscond out of a church column. It was all cinder block, and once I got them out of there, I just grate stuffed it, right? Just temporary. And I said, "Look, they're going to come back if you don't do something about this." And they called, "Oh, your friends are back." No, your friends are back. Next time, I did it once for free. The second time is not free.
Yeah. Yeah, I always get that. Those bees are back. No, those bees aren't back. You got some new bees.
New bees.
New bees.
Yeah, I had one that I did last year. I mean, it was just a little 1/2 inch, 3/4 hole in the side. And I cut a nice little colony out of there. And I put the boards back up, and I started grabbing the caulk gun. The guy's like, "Oh, no, don't worry about that. I'll do it later." I said, "No, you want me to do it now, or you're going to be calling me back in 2 days."
Yeah. Right. Cast off swarm from somewhere else that moved in.
Yeah, I've got to go look at one tomorrow that I removed a month and a half ago, maybe. Huge colony. And I told the guy what to do. He said he was going to do all the repairs. He obviously hadn't been doing a lot of repairs on the house over the years. And I told him what all he had to seal it, what all he had to do. He was going to take care of all that. And he called me while I was gone to Texas and says, "I got bees again." And I'm like, "Oh, well, what happened?" "Well, I thought I sealed it up, but apparently not." And I said, "Well, I'm in Texas. I'll get to it when I get back." I said, "How long have they been there?" He said, "Oh, a couple weeks, I guess." I said, "Why didn't you call me the day they came in?" So rather than going and sucking up a swarm, I get to go cut comb.
And then a bunch of them, they want you to try to put that spray foam insulation in there, and they just chew right through that.
Yeah, they don't have no problem going through that.
About the only way you can use the spray foam if you stuff steel wool in there and then foam the steel wool itself.
Yeah.
And that'll help a little bit, but it's still not 100%.
I normally have to charge them to go back like that when I've left them to do repairs and they don't do it. But this guy here, he hasn't done any repairs, and I know there's only 6 screws on that sheetrock and that ceiling. I'm gonna go back out there and unscrew that, knock it out real quick, and I've got another one on the way, so I'm not gonna charge him anything. But be like, "Dude, if I got to come back again, it's gonna cost you."
Right.
You got to close this up. You got to seal it up.
Finish the sheetrock.
Yep. Finish the sheetrock. So,
you talked to Mr. Ed lately?
I didn't. There was a guy coming through town going to meet Mr. Ed and wanted to stop and get some shirts and hats before he got to Mr. Ed. So I met with him and I shot a little video with him that I was going to send to Mr. Ed just to let him know I met with the guy before he did, just kind of rub it in his face. But
who's winning the competition?
I got sidetracked. He is. He got another swarm today. He texted me about it. It was his 12th one. I'm on number 9.
You ain't got the GPS on him no more?
Nah, he threw it in the pond.
He threw it in the pond. Man, you guys. So Mr. Ed's winning right now, Tobias.
Yeah, he's beating you by 3?
Beat me by 3. I always pull up on him later in the season.
Now, who all's in that competition?
Just me and him.
Just you and him? I thought at one time there was more people involved.
Shawi said he was going to get involved, but you can't believe nothing Shawi says. So if you call 50, he called 53.
Can't prove it. Hey, if it wasn't on video, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Well, from what I understand on my catch today, that you were in the chat and that you were going to count it.
Yeah,
because you were there.
Yeah, because the one he sent me today was in a trap. He didn't catch a swarm. He caught a swarm in a trap. I keep telling him there's a difference in catching and trapping, but
right. That's true.
I let him count them. So now that I saw yours, I'm gonna count it because I saw it.
you were there live. You were there when it was happening. So
I was
just,
talking trash. I was talking trash to you just like I do to him.
I have to wait so long for YouTube to show me the live chat after the stream is uploaded. So I haven't even seen any of those comments. So I got to wait until afterwards to go back and check it out. So I'm curious to see what kind of crap you're talking. But hey, it's all
what's
fun.
taking so long?
Well, I never saw the queen ever. I saw him do the march into the box and all that, but I never saw the queen. I had people saying, "No, just scoop them with your hand and dump them in." So of course I'm doing that. About the third scoop, I get stung about 4 or 5 times on my finger.
I saw that.
So then I got this little plastic tray, and I was just scooping them with the plastic tray and dumping them in.
Yeah, I've only been stung about 10 times today.
Oh, I wish I would have got the one last week on film. I took over 100 stings at somebody else's yard. That their father had passed away, and we were going through colonies that hadn't been into in about a year.
Yeah.
And they didn't like it too much. When you crack that first, all the frames were bridged all the way down. So it was like one long piece of comb. And every time you crack a box open, you're breaking the comb right in half, right? So they didn't care for that too much.
Yeah.
So we got it cleaned up.
I normally don't mind it, but I took one right in the edge of the nostril today and one in the ear.
Oh, the nostril one. That's the worst one, man.
Yeah, so my eyes watering up, so I'm backing bees covering my nose like this.
That's crazy. Let me see. Randy, how many and what type of frames do you put in your traps?
I put 10 frames in them, and usually just a foundation strip and one old brood comb. And then the bottom, the medium will go on the bottom, and it stays empty.
So nine foundation strips and one brood comb.
And one brood comb, and it needs to be a good brood comb. It can't be. I mean, it can have a little wax moth damage, but I want it to be fairly fresh, some thick old dark comb.
Right.
And the bottom box stays empty. I want them to have that space.
I want
them to see it as space.
Do you find the bees like your beard?
They go after my hair. I've got dark hair, and if I don't wear a hat there, I get scalp stings quite a bit. They don't go after my beard much. It's kind of thin.
They go for my beard and the top of my hair, typically.
Yeah. They get in my hair quite a bit. Yeah, on my traps. If I set a trap up, it's going to be on the cool side of something. I don't ever want full sun on it. Bees will scout it through the day. If it's even if they do come to the box, if it gets to a point where it's hot, too hot during the day, if it's got, they will. I'm about to have to go. My wife's calling.
I got you.
They might move in, but they might also move out just as quick as they moved in, because once it gets too hot for them, they're gone. So I put it on the north side of a building or north side of a big tree or light overhang.
Where it's in the shade.
Yeah, I just don't like for the sun to be on my traps.
You got any certain direction you aim them as far as north, south, east, west, or?
I don't. It doesn't seem to matter.
Okay. I've had a lot of people I've heard say, "Oh, you got to do it south." I'm like, it really don't matter as long as it's, like you say, not direct sun on it.
I really base it all on. Oh, she's texting me now.
Uh-oh.
I really base it all on what I find in feral colonies. Most of the time when I'm talking to somebody and I'm trying to figure out where the bees are in their house, it's almost always on the north side of the house, unless like the one we had today was on the east side. And there was a giant oak tree overhanging it and a double layered roof protecting them from the heat. She is blowing my phone up with texts because she knows I'm sitting out in the driveway on a live chat.
You better get Miss Elizabeth, or she's gonna come get you.
Yeah. Well, guys, I gotta get out of here.
Hey, we appreciate you, Randy. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for calling me back, by the way.
Randy, can I ask just before you head off, with a name like McCaffrey, are you from the motherland or
Scott Irish?
So you're one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phil there is from Northern Ireland.
Scott Irish, yeah.
So
What time is it there, Phil?
Are you an Ulster Scot?
A what?
An Ulster Scot.
I don't know what that is.
Look it up.
Okay.
He's giving you homework. Yeah. All right, Randy, we appreciate you, buddy.
Do your homework, and I'll ask you questions next time you come back.
Okay.
Have a good one, Randy. Thank you.
Thanks, Randy. Bye.
Yeah, we got Time is Honey coming in down here. What's up, Rick?
What's up, guys?
Catch your swarm yet?
Dude, I've been working my ass off, man. I ain't got no time for that right now.
I know the feeling.
No, I'm gonna go do a removal here probably in a week or two. And one of my window cleaning clients actually, they got a ranch down here in Texas. And they have a colony that moved into one of their bummed out trailers.
Africanized or not sure?
You know what? I'm just gonna take it they are. Yeah, I'm just gonna take it they are. They said, yeah, they said they've ran equipment next to them, and they said for the most part, like they haven't got stung or anything. But I'm not even gonna risk it. They said they think the colony died out one time, and another one moved in. Hey, Beehive, good to see you, man. Yeah, guys, I've been working, dude. That's why I'm not around. Summertime is busy for me. But how is everybody?
Well, I caught a swarm today.
Nice, man.
And then got it home, and it swarmed off.
No, you didn't, Bob. No, you didn't.
I caught one temporarily. I relocated it from one geographical location to my geographical location, but they're no longer in the box that I put them in.
You give it inferior quarters, and it disappeared.
Yeah, I gave it what I had at the time.
How far did you transport the swarm to your yard? Was it a good bit?
Probably. Well, it took me about 20-25 minute drive through the city, so probably 10 miles, 10, 15 miles.
Nice. Yeah.
And yeah, they went somewhere. I don't know. They're not home anymore.
Once again, humbled by the bees.
That's it.
Tobias got a question here. How do y'all add supers to the top or under super between the old super and the brood box?
I've been doing the under super just because that's how you were doing it, and I was trying that out.
Yeah, so. I under super always remove the original super, place a new one, and then put the old one on top. Okay. To me, I mean, it's them passing through the empty super to get to the one that they've been working on, and it kind of gets their scent on it more, and they kind of take to it. Just the way I look at it.
So you put the new super below the one that's already full.
Yeah.
You swap them out. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, once you start getting 4 or 5 supers on there, yeah, it's a little more work because I got to move 4 full supers out of the way to put a new one and then put the old ones back on top. But that's just the way I prefer to do it.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, speaking of which, I won't be able to do it tomorrow until late, but I need to go through one of my colonies that's got like 5 supers on it. And
swarm was car sick.
Yeah, it must have been. Because it took off. Unfortunately.
How long after you got to the yard did it split out?
I don't know. I got home. I put it in the box. I took the top off, snapped one picture, put another box on top of it with frames, and put the top on it, and they were gone.
Yeah.
When I came back, so
that's funny, man.
Right, Mr. Paul.
It was a nice swarm too. I mean,
was it?
Yeah, it was a nice swarm. So,
what's the topic y'all talking about tonight?
Pretty much everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a free for all. Then Randy stopped in.
Daisy's honey, you said his name was Steve, right?
Do you get brood in the supers? Daisy said.
That's a good one.
If I don't run queen excluders, yeah. The only thing I run queen excluders on last year was my comb honey supers. Other than that, I didn't run any excluders. I do get a little bit of brood in it, but not a whole lot. Very little.
So it was a nice little swarm, man. I can't believe it. But then I got a cutout to go to.
Bob, stop
tomorrow.
crying. They're gone.
I know. Hey, I've heard about your queenless hive like for 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
He's gonna rub it in though.
You just didn't give them the right accommodation. They're gone.
That is true. You are absolutely correct. I gave him the accommodation I had when we got the call. So just because Rich hadn't seen it, I'm gonna share my gone swarm.
I'm try to stay in the habit now. When I do go to a swarm, I bring a 10 frame with me and a 5 frame.
I got it.
Well, Lee, you're just rubbing it in now. So
well, I mean, you never know if it's bigger than what they say.
Jeez.
You know what my mentor told me, Lee?
No,
He's like,
I
"Hey,
wouldn't
dude."
even do that.
Yeah, he's all, when you go do a cutout, he's like, take about 4 more boxes than you're gonna take. He's like, because dude, you could get into a cutout, and he's like, you'd be
There
surprised
you are,
how
Bob.
fast.
They're all telling you now what to do.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, when I was at the B store when
Yeah,
the
I'm
swarm
learning,
call.
man. This is my first swarm. I'm just going
The,
on what my mentor told
the
me.
only time Bob went to the B store and didn't buy 10 boxes.
Yeah.
No, I did buy
He
10
did.
boxes. I
He
did
bought
buy
10
10 boxes today. I bought 10 eggs today, and 50 acorn foundations, heavy wax.
That's all pile on, Bob.
And man, I went out there. Well, the thing is, guys, the B store is 29 miles north of me, and I had to go to the other side of town from where I'm at to get them. So if I would have went back to my house to get the proper equipment or more equipment, and then drive over there, chances are they would have been gone to begin with. But you know, we gave it the try, got it home, and got going. So live
All I
and
can
learn.
say, Bob, is it was a very good video.
It was an hour long too. That was,
We had lots of laughs on.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it. And Randy said Randy McCaffrey was trolling me too, so that's got to be extra special. So if you haven't seen that live video,
and William was really cutting on your video. I don't
who?
know.
William?
Yeah.
William,
He was
talking.
really
I
cutting
caught
on
the
you.
beginning. I caught the beginning of it. I didn't catch the end.
Why are we
You
watching
didn't
this guy
catch the end
driving
when
his
the
truck?
school stranger danger alarms were going off and the cops were after Bob.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't catch that.
Cops never showed up, by the way.
I said I was going to call in an anonymous tip.
It still doesn't.
You phoned the cops.
It still doesn't.
So that actually happened.
Yeah, it did. There was an
cops
alarm
arrived.
going off, and then the sirens were going off in the background. I'm like, I didn't actually get permission to come out here. It was just a call to the B store when I was there, and they're like, hey, there's a swarm over at this place. I'm like, well, that's kind of on the way home, and I've got a nuke box, so let me buy a migratory cover for my nuke box, and that's how I went, and I went straight there, and I still can't see the live comments on the video, by the way.
Joshua had a good point. That's why I always ask for a photo before going to a swarm call.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
especially
you know,
if you got
But
bugs.
then, I mean, it depends on what they're taking a picture of.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yep.
I mean, it does help, though.
Yep.
And what you'll
Definitely.
find, no matter how small the swarm is, the people will zoom the photo in and take the picture. So it looks like a ginormous swarm. And you get there and it's like this, like 2 hands full of bees. So
Now, have
it's
y'all
kind
ever
of,
had Queen go from the bottom entrance to the top? Like if you run an excluder and she gets out and goes up. Now, I've had times I've seen people with the metal excluders. If it gets just a little bit of bend in that wire, that Queen will find that spot and get through too.
I haven't
So
had
plastic are the plastic ones you recommend? The plastic ones, Lee?
The plastic ain't gonna bend, but I find mine, they just don't want to go through that plastic excluder at all. I mean, even
Oh,
the
the-
foragers
okay,
and all.
Okay.
I put a brand new super on, fresh wax, and they just didn't even want to come up. I take the excluder off, and they just, swarm into it. They ready to work.
Well, this is my first year using an excluder, and the only reason I really started using them was for doing the demarays. And then, with the single hive management, they actually prefer that you put a queen excluder on it. But
Daisy's honey with the swarms and found their yellow jackets.
I've had that.
That sucks.
And then I went ahead and
That's a bummer.
took them off because I thought that with the plastic excluders that I had, I thought it was limiting the airflow through the colony, and it was causing bearding. But it didn't. I've got a couple of them with it on, but that Demaray colony, doing it the right way and not pulling the brood out in the queen cells, that colony absolutely exploded. That's the one that I went through with Ricky from Horizontal Hives, that first one that was stinging me. That thing's got a lot of bees in it now. Opinion, strongest hive.
Oh, hey, Houston. Hey, Dennis. Good to see you guys, man. I know I've been off the rock for a bit, man.
Let me see. 5 deeps high. Took off Sunday. It was a nice day. Not going to be able to get into them again until the weekend. Okay, just out of curiosity, why are you running a colony 5 deeps high?
He may be running all deeps for his supers instead of medium.
That could be. Yeah, that could be it.
That's a lot of weight.
He took off the honey supers. Is that what he's saying?
I believe so. I would take off any extra space that they're not needing.
If it's 5 deeps and they're full, though.
Yeah.
I would have.
He's saying it was reduced activity at the entrance. So it's like it's not as many bees in there.
Yeah, I would do the same thing if I would kind of try to, even if you're using like Honey Be Gone or something like that in a fume board, to push them down and remove a box and remove it down to where they're nice and
condense them down to where they're only filling up about 70% of the hive.
But if you're going to be gone for a week, that could also be a problem. You might come back and they might be RUNNOFT on you.
I would leave at least one super on them if you're leaving out of town for a week, because he's down here in Baton Rouge by me. And our tallow is flowing hard right now.
5 deeps, man. You guys got the attack dogs on the channel tonight?
Yeah, Marley. my killer chihuahua.
Phil's got his over there too.
Jack Russell.
Oh, is he?
He looks like he's waiting on a treat, Phil.
Give me some treats, Phil. So how's your bees doing, Lee?
Doing pretty good. I pulled a little bit of honey off yesterday.
Nice, man. Was that your first super you pulled?
Huh?
Was that your first set you pulled?
Yeah, for this year. I just pulled 2 supers out of my number 1 yard here. Nice. I got to add more supers to my other yards this coming weekend.
How are those supers looking?
Pretty good. The 2 that I pulled yesterday, out of 18 frames, 16 of them were full. The other 2 were about half full of honey and cap, but it had brood in them.
Okay.
So out of 16 frames, after my cappings were draining, I got 58, 60 pounds.
Okay, so you got about 60 pounds of honey. That's good.
Yeah, a 5-gallon bucket.
Off of 2 supers.
That's good. I'll have anywhere between, I'll probably have about 35 supers out this year.
Were those frames that had the brood on them, were they in the middle of the box, Lee? Or?
They were about a quarter of the way over in the box. It wasn't direct center.
That's the other thing I did when I
would say it was the 3rd and 4th frame, 2nd and 3rd, 3rd and 4th, somewhere.
When I noticed brood in my super, that's when I put a queen excluder under it to let that brood hatch out.
Yeah.
By that time, the bees are already up in the super. So,
well, like the whole brood area. In fact, let's see. I can pull the video up.
I got a question about that. Like, when the bees start storing honey up in the supers, will the queen go up there and lay, or will that have happened prior to, or will she just go up there and lay? Okay, so it's something you'll see prior to the honey super being filled. Okay.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, and so I've got some that we're kind of doing that, and I'm trying something right now. I'm taking the frames that have the brood and putting them on the 2 outer edges and putting the ones that are full of honey right in the middle, hoping that whenever those emerge on the outside edge, she'll be less inclined to go over there and try to lay in them. Because, if they're in the middle, a lot of times it seems like when they emerge, the queen's real drawn to that where the bees are emerging because she knows there's lots of space to lay more eggs.
Yeah,
so I've moved them to the outside. Of course, now I haven't been in the bees in like 10 days, you know what I mean? But
now this was the 4th super up, but you could see they got a little bit of brood left around the edges, but everything that had hatched out in the center here has already been backfilled with nectar.
And once
okay,
they
so
start,
they're already fanning it out.
Yeah.
Once they start that, she won't lay in it.
I don't know if you could see the nectar in
Yeah,
there.
I can see it.
But then the next frame that I pull out, both
totally
sides
capped.
are just, capped wall to wall on it.
See, I've got a lot of frames. They're just not all
Look how pretty
capped
that
up.
is, man.
No, the other side, there is white.
Yeah, look at that.
Silver Gorilla says you can extract frames with brood.
Yeah, you can. I just prefer not to, since it was already capped, and it looked like older cappings because it was dark. After I uncapped the other ones, I just took them and threw them back in one of the supers. Let them hopefully finish hatching out.
I haven't pulled anything yet. Nothing. So I'm probably going to start pulling some off. We'll see.
I was watching a video of these guys. I think it's over in Thailand or something. They remove these big honeycomb, these big beehives, but they're actually eating the brood. They grill it, and then they eat it with the honey. They have big, huge, larva, man.
But did they dip it in barbecue sauce or something, or did
No, dude, no, it looks really good.
Little, was it Pete's?
I know
Texas Pete's. Texas Pete's hot sauce.
Some Baby Ray's, man.
That's how.
Baby Ray's.
I like the Sweet Baby Ray's.
I do too, man. That's the go-to, the Sweet Baby Ray's.
I think that's why they give. You ever notice in the MREs they always give you that little bottle of hot sauce in there?
Yeah, the Tabasco.
That's because that's the only way you could eat that crap.
You know where that's made at, huh?
Right there, Louisiana.
Avery Island, Louisiana.
Yeah.
William, you were going to ask a question, and then you kind of got over talked. Did you ever get answered?
No, I don't know.
I think you probably did get it answered. I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, so we're coming. No, go ahead.
How's Ian doing?
Ian, I watched a couple of his videos. I think he's getting it back on track now.
Is he? Okay, I saw a few of his videos back, man. He looked like he had a hard time there for.
Well, even when he's, he had a long winter, then it flooded, and then he started pulling the things out, the colonies out, and then it started to snow again, and I think he finally said that they're getting them back ready.
Man, talk about a Greek tragedy, man.
Yeah, I started to watch one of his recent videos. It was titled about to release the energy from his nuke batteries.
Yeah.
I didn't get it all the way watched, but that seemed kind of positive. Like maybe his nukes were doing good, and he was going to start plugging holes.
Well, see, I'm having problems with some of my nukes this year. Like some of my nukes are really taking off, and then some of them are just not doing good. And I'm trying to figure it out. Hopefully after I start pulling some honey, I'll.
Oh, but their accommodation.
Probably.
Not good accommodation.
He's going to blame the property manager again.
Yeah.
Well, my nukes that were used as a mating nuke, you know what I mean? They always seem to take a dip, and then it's like they got to get over that hump of attrition. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you make up the nuke, and then they got to let the queen cell emerge, and she's got to go out and get mated, and then the queen starts laying. It's like they take a dive in population. It's kind of hard for them to overcome that. But once they get over that attrition, whenever her daughters start emerging and everything, then they'll start to take off.
Lee, how much time do you got left tonight?
I can hit 9:45.
Guys, I'm gonna sign off because it is.
Yeah. That's because of the accommodations.
Yeah, it just insults me. So it does.
It'll already be at what, about 3:30, 4:30 your time?
It's just coming on 3:30.
3:30.
And I am work tomorrow, so.
Man, what a beast!
What do you mean tomorrow? It is tomorrow if it's 3:30.
It is today.
No, yeah.
Right. Today.
The only
Yeah,
good
I'm
thing
gonna sign
is
up to
I get Thursday, Friday off for the Queen's Jubilee this year, so
Nice.
I
It's a long weekend.
give a thumbs up for Her Majesty. 70 years on the throne.
Dang.
Long live the Queen, huh?
Long.
Yeah.
Exactly, Rick. Thank
Looks like
you.
this. See if we can keep a 70-year queen in the hive, man. That'd be the
Yeah.
day. See if we can have a
Well,
reigning
Bill,
queen
you
like
have a
that.
good night, and thank you for coming in, man.
I shall say good night, chaps. All
See
the
ya,
best.
Bill.
Right. Thanks, Phil.
Chat soon.
I'm sure I'll be getting an email. My shirt's not here. My shirt's not here.
Bob, I'll keep you in check. Don't you worry.
All
Yeah,
right,
you guys
Phil.
be safe too. I got an early day tomorrow too,
And
guys.
if
I
I might even get over to Hive Live next year, and I'll really get into you then.
Well, let me know because I'll bring some apple pie and not the not the typical American apple pie.
You're gonna get a review on your shirt from Phil complaining about the size of the box that it came.
If you bring apple pie, then you're in trouble, not me.
I bet that's right. Your tolerance level is probably way higher than mine.
Oh yes.
Yeah, come on over next year. We'll be there.
We'll be there for sure.
Lee sounds like he's ready to test the theory.
We'll chat soon. All the best, chaps. All the best.
All right.
Good night.
Have a good one.
See you guys.
All right. So tonight's winner of the giveaway was Iowa Lions Hot.
Wrong button.
He froze up.
Yeah, he froze, so I'm gonna bump it.
All right. So Iowa Lions won this week's giveaway. Make sure after the live stream you go to the real comments, not the live stream, not the live chat, but the real comments on keyword both mine and Lee's channels to get entered for next week's giveaway, which is the final giveaway of 5 weeks. You get a swarm trap, swarm commander, honeybee gone, and beekeeper's choice feeding stimulant supplement. So stimulant, that's in the package. It's all one package. It'll come from Blythewood Bee Company because they've been so gracious to give away 5 of them, and we are on the last week. So,
what do we gotta do?
You got to comment.
Yeah, after the live chat's over,
okay,
go and leave a comment under the video on both channels, thumbs up and sub, and then that'll enter you for the drawing.
But if that's too much, I've got a giveaway coming up on my channel. You only got to comment on one video, so.
And go subscribe to Dry Cut and Time is Honey.
The catch is I got to get to 100 subscribers, so it's going to be in like 8 months. But other than that,
well, hey, if all 51 people here right now go and sub to William at Dry Cut Homestead, right?
That's probably the 51 subscribers I have.
Hold on, we're going to drop a link. Lee's getting the link right now. We're going to boost him up right now to 100 and force him to do a giveaway. How many are you at? That would put you over 100, right?
Oh yeah. Well, but a lot of these people are already subscribed.
Well, yeah, but you don't need all of 50.
I've been unsubscribed from you guys.
Unsubscribed?
Fucking YouTube, yeah.
Yeah,
you'd be surprised.
Time is Honey just now subscribed to me.
I've had people unsubscribe, and it's like they'll unsubscribe, and I haven't even posted anything that day, and I'm like, man, what did I do?
I get unsubscribed from channels all the time.
I'm about to drop a link to William's channel here. Everybody jump over there and give him a sub.
Because somebody's got to do something pretty horrific for me to unsubscribe. Like, I mean, that's a weird thing to happen, you would think.
Let me see.
18. Yeah, Draco, I think you were trying to reply to me for a long time. You're like, here, you get my messages? Was it you?
Yeah, it won't let me. So, like, you commented on one of my videos, and it won't let me reply. And I messaged Bob. I was like, can you tell him? Because I don't want him to think. Because I respond to everybody's comments. I go on there and like interacting with people. And when it wouldn't let me respond, I was like, did he like accidentally block me, or I didn't know?
No, I'm subscribed to your channel. Actually, I've been.
Yeah, you said that on the comment, but it literally won't let me. It won't let me respond. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, he's going to give away the home forged hive tool.
Yeah, I'm giving away a hive tool that I forged myself.
Oh, you're at 72 now, so you only need.
He's at 76 now. He just jumped 5.
Uh-oh. All right. Hey, let's see if we can do it. Can we push him to 100 and make William give it away? Give it away now. That's right. That's what we like to do.
I just threw a comment on your page. See if you reply to that one.
Okay, let me see.
I threw it up on your most recent video. If you can't, then YouTube is hating me.
Go directly. I was in the studio, but let me go to.
And studio is weird because studio will show that you got a bump, and then you'll refresh it, and it'll show that you went down, and then the next day you come back and it's back. Look, you got Phil Weaver.
You up to 78.
22 more.
You up to 80.
20 more.
Come on, make William get to work and make some hive tools.
81.
He said he's going to give 100 hive tools away at 100 subscribers.
Pop around.
Win to everybody. Everybody wins like Oprah. And you get a hive tool, and you get a hive tool.
Yeah, I ain't getting nothing done at the house. Why you forging?
He'll be out at the forge at the hammer. Tink.
That YouTube studio just got him. He went from 81 back to 80.
Yeah, it's weird when YouTube. It's weird when YouTube see you picks up a bunch of subs like that all of a sudden. It messes with the algorithm. It's like
It'll be straightened back out the next day though.
Yeah, it will.
We had 83.
Let me just go to my most recent video and see if I can see that comment because it's not popping up in my notifications for some reason.
Have you clicked on held for review?
Yeah, sometimes you might have to go to YouTube Studio.
Okay, I see your comment.
Okay.
See, look at this. Can that? Will it be too bright?
If you hold it up there for just a second, the camera should automatically adjust.
No.
Maybe not.
There you go.
Okay.
So I hit the like button, but let me see here. Cancel. Let me click on this. An unknown error has occurred. See,
it's only on his channel?
Yeah, that's the only time. I hit a heart button and it says unknown error has occurred.
Yeah, see, and then on this end, it doesn't show up as like he liked the comment.
And then look, do I even see an option to respond there?
What hit the 3 dots right there? What's it say right there?
Pin, remove, or report. But we won't focus now.
Now, is that an iPhone?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably the problem.
So if
I just left another one. I just posted right above that. See if that one works, dude.
And let me see. So, like I see Laramore's, but sometimes when you leave a comment, for some reason, it'll put it in a held for review status. And like I get a bunch of crazy removed from moderator, likely spam stuff popping up. So if you want to go to Uno for your, there's a lot of Spanish love sites that pop up on mine. Don't know why.
Usually after our lives, I'll get one in there. It's like as soon as the live is over, we'll get one of those X-rated spams comment.
Those are the YouTube bots, man.
Yeah.
They're like moderator bots.
And see, I made sure I go into my settings and I check to see, and I don't have any users blocked.
It says Rich's channel is flagged by YouTube. LOL. That's what Houston said. Is it flagged? Is your channel flagged, Rich?
Should be.
Should be?
I know my other one's suppressed. Yeah, my other channel's suppressed, definitely. I know that for sure. I don't know about this channel. This channel shouldn't be flagged, though. I don't see why it would be.
And for some reason, when I search dry cut homestead,
yeah,
it like there now pops up, but it's like doesn't come up on the search bar, even though it's like 100%. Where are you at now? Let me see.
85.
85.
That was a pretty big jump.
Went up 14.
We need just 15 more if you find 42 remaining viewers. Spin that wheel, William. Do a drawing tonight. LOL. He's got to do it on his channel, guys, because you got to go to watch his channel.
Yeah. Got to sub to him, give him a thumbs up.
Yeah,
Hit
well,
the bell.
I've got a video titled Hand Forge Hive Tool Giveaway. If you comment on that and then I get to 100, that's where I'll take the names to put in the wheel from that video.
Matter of fact, let me find the video. There it
He's
is.
going to send your channel flag, Rich. He said he was just messing with you.
I know he is. I know.
I don't know. That's really weird, though, that it's doing that.
There you go. That's the video in the hand forged hive tool. If you had a laser printer, though, you could paint it black and laser etch it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I don't have those tools. I just got a hammer and a forge.
It works.
Well, and the anvil.
We up to 86.
86. We're getting it. We're gonna push it.
Better finish that tool.
And anyway, we're coming to an end tonight, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I got work in the morning too.
And
I've
we-
heard everybody going over
tomorrow.
driving.
You know what? When we started this, we'd have like 10 people are like, man, we're gonna close it down. There's 10 people watching. Now it's like, oh man, we're gonna close it down. There's 40 people still watching.
We were up to 65 tonight.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's going the right direction.
That's
good thing.
quite a lot of even just over the past month, I think, right? I mean,
How long have we been doing this? Since March, I think.
Since sometime in March is when we
So
started.
like
doing
2
that.
months. Yeah, 2 months.
Yeah.
And
Since
half
by
the
the time
time we've
we
been
get
doing giveaways.
I remember when the stream would get like, it seemed like 15 people, you know, was pretty good. It was a pretty good number, you know, there at the beginning. And now,
First time.
now it's
I think we would get excited when we hit 20.
Right.
yeah, that
Well,
was a good.
you know, Tuesday night is our official night, but if you're sub to our channels, there's a good chance you'll catch another 2-3 lives during the week. Usually.
I think at one time we were going 5 to 6 days a week.
Yeah, we've kind of scaled that back a little bit because it does get to the point to you can only talk about your new frame so many times, or you know, your new extractor or wax melter, whatever you've got, you know. So that's why it's so crucial to this stream that we have people come in, because now we can talk about what's going on with William and what's going on with Rich and what's going on with Charlie and anybody else that wants to come in, and we post a link so you can all join in. It doesn't matter if you got no hives, 1 hive, 1,000 hives. We've been fortunate. We've got, you know, we've had some big name people on here. Randy comes by every few weeks. It seems like he's in, and we really appreciate that. We've had
I
Mr.
dig how you're
Ed.
painting your nukes too, by the way, Bob.
Krylon, baby.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, man. I saw the designs how you're like, you know.
Oh,
doing
that's
some-
actually 2 separate hives.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they're just flipped back. They're 2 frame nukes going opposite directions.
Okay.
But yeah, just Krylon 2X or Rust-Oleum Max works well too.
Nice, man. They look real nice. I like the colors you're doing on them.
But we've had, you know, Mr. Ed, Yappy B-Man, Ian Stepler, Dirt Rooster, JP, the B-Man through phone call, right? He was on with Yappy. We've been Castle Hives, Bruce's Bees, Greg from Nature's Image Farms. Who else am I missing, guys? We've had people hang out with us, so
There's the colors for you, Rich.
yeah, there's the
Okay.
yard. That's
Yeah,
my,
those are pretty cool.
and I've got 6 burnt ones in the back, but I've only got half of those with actual queens in them right now.
Mhm.
And I was out there earlier putting food back on them. I waited kind of to dark, so if there's any robbing, they have a good chance to suck all they can down.
Mhm.
But I noticed one of those colonies may not be a viable anymore. It may have gotten robbed out, but I'm gonna check them. Well, I can't check them tomorrow. I was gonna do that tomorrow, but now I'm going to do a cutout apparently. So you know, maybe make some money, maybe get some free bees. We'll see what happens.
free 99.
I'm about to put a sticker on the back of my truck that says "Will work for bees."
Will work for bees. I know, right?
Yeah, just for the
I
hell of
actually,
it, yeah.
I actually have William's channel up, and it's just scrolling through his videos and playing as I'm talking here. So
There we go.
giving you some extra viewage. Well, and I've already seen most of these videos anyway, so
You
it
only
won't
need
give
You
you
can
extra.
actually go watch the one about the vacuum, right?
I actually watched that one before, but I'm gonna go back and watch it again.
That's the second video he ever put
What is
out.
it? You got a vacuum, Will?
Yeah, he was talking about his cutout, and I asked him if he had a vacuum, and the second video that I ever posted on YouTube was about my vacuum because I got my bees from doing cutouts.
That's what I'm about. I'm about to go do a cutout here in a couple of weeks, man.
Yeah, you
first
can learn
one.
a lot about the bees just from kind of seeing what they do, you know.
Yeah, and it's going to be a learning experience. I'm looking forward to it, actually. You know, my mentor gave me a huge heads up. He's like, take a table, take a tent, like a canopy. He's like, dude, go prepared. He's like, take a shitload of water because like you're going to be hot. And he said, because once you start, he's like, you can't stop.
Yeah,
He's like, once you start a cutout,
the hard way.
yeah, he's like, yeah, he said, once you start a cutout, he's all, dude, you can't stop. He's all, once you peel that board back and you start getting the bees in there, he's like, what I would do, spray them down with sugar water so they can't fly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
He's like, get them stuck to each other. He's like, they start flying. He's all, now spray them down with sugar water, man. Get them heavy, and then just work them that way. He's like, get that queen though. He said, that's the thing. He said, get that queen in the box, man. He's all, once you get the queen out, they'll figure it out from there on out.
Don't underestimate the worth of a bucket of warm water, man. When you start getting into the honey, if you're cutting the honey out, your hands get so sticky. It's nice to just have some warm water to just get that stick off your hands.
Yep.
It's so
okay. That's what else I was thinking.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do rubber gloves over my actual gloves.
yeah.
It's going to be sticky, but it's going to be slippery at the same time.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's
That honey all over you. Grab something that's just going to try to slide.
honey is the weird thing. You can stick to something and slide on it at the same time. It's a weird.
Okay.
Weirdest
Really?
stuff.
You
It's
see
all
that?
over your tools and.
Did you see
Any other
that?
pointers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they said that you can start your own channel, your own. Damn it!
We're both clicking at the same time.
You can start your own live so we can ignore Bob. Now, how is that even fair? Literally, up until the time I went live, I was on the phone with Houston. And Brad, you come in almost every show. I don't know why you didn't come in tonight.
Oh,
I know
Casey,
why.
How you doing, man?
Oh, they giving you a hard time tonight, Bob.
I know. You know why he didn't come in? Because I called him out on clout chasing the big guys when they come on. Remember the other night I asked him, I was like, hey, Brad, why don't you join in? And he didn't join in. And who was it that joined it, that came on?
Oh,
And all of a sudden, boop, Brad's like right there when they came in.
I can't. He said something about coming on tonight. So I sent him a little message. I said, don't worry, I'll let you in.
Right.
Hey, Sarah, I see you.
Brad's the guy with that itty bitty dog with the weird mustache, right?
Right.
Okay, that's what. I was making sure I wasn't getting him confused with somebody else.
Fred Flintstone.
Gotcha.
He even
He,
bailed
he got
Bob out
Dino
the
sits
other
on
day.
his lap.
See, hey, what is going on? What did I
I'm
miss?
sorry, Brad. I had to.
Well, let's answer a question. I don't know the answer to this. I've never used lactic acid. I've only used oxalic acid.
That one I'm not sure. That's
So I
all
don't
I've
know.
used is oxalic.
Come on out,
Man.
guys. I got work early in the morning. It's going to be hot. Solar panels and windows tomorrow. So, yeah.
Have a
Looks
good
like
one, Rich.
looks
Thank
like you, William. That's what he said.
What are you gonna do?
I'll
Give me
see
an apple or something? Was he comparing me to his dog? His
Yeah,
apple
he
dog?
said it looks like you. Damn, there goes the scab, ripped right off. All you got to say to him is yabba dabba doo.
I know he's over here throwing shade. I've got a handful of cats that would kill his dog. He's over here throwing shade at me. Silly dude.
All right, guys. Good
All
night,
right,
gentlemen.
see you,
Have a
Rich.
good week. Happy to your bees. Y'all stay safe, healthy. Catch up with you guys in a couple
All right,
weeks.
see you later.
All right, see you guys.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate all of you staying with us and joking with us and everything else. But it is now 10:45 my time, which means it's 9:45 and time for Lee's bed.
Yep.
So, and we know he needs the beauty sleep, so we got to let him go.
Usually I'm on Lee's time, but today I'm actually on Bob's time.
So, does that mess with you when you go home? You're like, man, tired or I'm
So I
awake
have
too
to
early.
put y'all two on the same side there then.
Oh yeah, the different time zone. It does, but not in comparison to all the other stuff I got against me. The 1 hour time difference is pretty minimal.
Well, luckily tomorrow the cutout that I'm going to be doing is in a bathroom.
Oh, there you go.
So under the sink, hopefully. And hopefully I don't trash their whole place because it's like a massage place.
No comment.
Yeah, I knew you had something smart to say.
I plead the fifth. All right, it's 9:45. It's time to go.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good evening. We'll see you on the next live
Thank
stream.
y'all for joining.
Thanks everyone who came over and subscribed to my channel. I appreciate it.
You only need 13 more, William.
There we go.
Y'all have a good
And
night.
we'll get those next live stream. Let's
Right
do
on.
it early. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Thanks.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.